Hear you.
Hello.
You're live.
Hello, live. I really
Hello.
did. I like the banners. How do we incorporate that?
Which banners? Oh, that I put up sometimes?
No, these.
Oh.
Our banners.
You can put one right next to her.
Yeah, let me try that.
Like kind of in that middle section. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Erin, you're back.
I am. How does that look?
Looking good. Looking good.
Sweet.
Yeah, it looks good.
There
The light's right on it too. It looks cool.
we go. Yeah, I got back yesterday afternoon.
Stand by. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Big news. I have some important news for you. Interesting news.
It's Blake and Aaron's Spilling the Tea with Sandy.
K-Man's top news headlines of the day from CMR.
Brought to you by J. Michael, fashion for everyone. Good morning, Sandy.
Hey, good morning, Blake and Aaron. How are you guys doing?
All right.
Wonderful.
Fantastical. So happy Monday, everyone. Congratulations to the Cayman Islands Commonwealth Youth participants. Cayman wins its first medals ever at a Commonwealth Youth game. Yes, these young people should be super proud of themselves. So they won their first medals in the pool at the Commonwealth Youth Games in Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday.
Mhm.
James Allison, congrats, swam his way to silver medal in the 200 men's free, finishing with a time of 1:50.97. And he collected the first ever Commonwealth Youth Games medal for the Cayman Islands in the pool.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah. So the swimmers performed very, very impressively. And of course, we'd like to say congrats to all of them. We had Jillian Crooks placing 7th overall in the 50 women's fly. We had Harper Barrowman placing 8th overall. And, Soraya Broadbelt did well. All of the young people did amazing jobs. So congrats to all of them. So we had another celebrity over the weekend here for Pride events at Palm Heights, arrested for ganja.
Who's that?
I've never heard of him, apparently. He is a performer by the name of Abdul Basit Shitu, also known as drag queen Dion Slay, much easier to say.
Okay.
And so he appeared in court after he got off of a British Airways flight on Tuesday, August the 1st. And, again, personal use, arrested by CBC, taken before the same chief magistrate. Now, this is interesting tidbit for you. Fined $500 and a conviction was recorded.
Ooh.
So people are like, why recorded for him but not for Gigi?
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's the question we're going to be delving into this morning. One final quick story. The movie Barbie is breaking all sorts of records. $1 billion at the box office.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy. Anyway.
Yep.
I want to
those are
see
your
it.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go see it as well. Those are your news headlines. It's beautiful Monday morning.
All right. Enjoy the Monday show with Sandy coming up on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow for.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
Come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Good morning, Cayman. Rise and shine. Time to wake up. Y'all look like you're moving kind of slow this Monday morning. Wagwan, Cayman. Why are you guys moving slow today? What's going on? I'm wondering. Sitting here about to sip on my tea, and I'm like, where is everybody? Y'all are slow to rise some mornings. I totally get it. Especially Mondays, honey chill. Mondays, actually, it's my favorite day of the week. Personally, I love a Monday. What's going on? The honey child mugs are so popular. Every time I see somebody, they're like, I need a honey child mug. We need to put in like a bulk order because we've been just doing really small orders. Yes, honey chill. So much to talk about in such little time. So we're going to get started. Good morning. Let me see who is saying their good morning greetings today. We've got Miss Vernita up and early at 6:19 this morning. Evelyn is here at 7:30. Happy Monday to you too. Patricia Blake is in the house, wishing everyone a great work week ahead. Mr. Eddie, hey Eddie, joining us from the Philippines. Hello, Eddie. What's up? Eddie, you've been touring all over the place. I enjoy living vicariously through you. And let me just adjust my camera just a tips. I enjoy living vicariously through you and seeing all of your vacation photos. You've been traveling everywhere. Miss Stacy making me laugh this morning. No, sir. I told Miss Stacy, I got to give you all this joke. I said to Miss Stacy, when I was in Miami the other day, I bought a pullover jacket. And I was looking for it this morning and I couldn't find it because these mosquitoes are brutal in the mornings. OMG. Can I just tell y'all, whoa, they're crazy. I mean, you go out there and they're just swarming you and they're biting you everywhere. And oh my God, my arm this weekend, I don't know if y'all can see, but it got, see one big one right there? It got so many bite marks. And then they start swarming around your head. And the worst thing is to hear them buzzing in your ear. So they were buzzing all over my head. And so I thought, okay, in the mornings, I need to armor up. I need a like hoodie style, top or whatever. So, oh shoot, Chuck, I know exactly why you're calling me. Hi, Chuck. Oh my God, I totally forgot. I just hit it.
I figured that. Go ahead and do it now.
Okay, done. Hold on. We're live on radio. Let me restart. I can replay my intro.
Okay.
Bigger, better, bolder. The cold, hard truth is taking talk to the next level. Right here on Bobo 89.1 FM, Cayman's Community Radio.
We are still spilling the tea.
And committed to being part of the change that Cayman so desperately needs. Join Sandy Hill weekdays from 7:30 a.m. for Premier Access, Cayman Voices, Truthful Thursdays, and much more. Cayman's #1 talk show is now bigger, better, bolder, and more than talk. Getting results with hot topics, consumer reports, court exposés, and more.
Come to set the record straight. I've come to shine the light on you. Let me introduce myself. I am the cold, hard truth.
Now, from the CMR studio in Grand Cayman,
Live, direct.
it's the cold, hard truth. Now, join the conversation on 345-936-2626.
That number again is
345-936-2626.
Let me check things out here. That's bizarre. Hold on, Chuck. I need you to be able to hear me today because I got a lot. Your playback on your computer is not connecting. Ooh, no bueno. All right, give me 1 second here. I was actually doing a little bit of tweaking on Friday. Looks like I might have over tweaked. Let me just check some stuff here. We got oh boy. Let me check my settings. 1 second here, Chucky. That's strange. Good morning, everyone. Let me see what's going on. I'm going to replay it again, Chuck. Hold on. I want you to stay tuned because I do have some stuff that we need to play today. So yeah, I was playing around with my settings on Friday. I think there's a couple things I needed to tweak. Okay, let me change this maybe. Audio. We're gonna change this to. All right, Chuck, can I replay that and you can tell me if you can hear it? Can radio listeners let me know if you can hear this song? Okay, something's going on this morning. Let me just check it out. Hold on 1 second, Chuck. Let me check one other setting. So this one is, yeah, that's where it should be. Okay, this is weird. Huh. So I didn't really change any of these things over the weekend. So PC settings. This is bizarre. I don't know what happened. Okay. So that setting, that should be correct. Volume mixer. We've got oh my. I don't know what's going on this morning. So we got main and main. Yes. Huh. It's bizarre, Chuck, that you can't hear me, but I kind of think somehow I feel like it should be this one that is somehow different today. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me see. I'll put, oh boy. Okay, can you hear me now? Unwanted echo if used incorrectly. I can hear you talking with the radio coming in over the computer. All right, shall we try it one more time? We need to figure this one out because I do have some audio clips I want to play. Let's see. Hold on, Chucky.
Thank you for tuning in to another.
All right. I don't know what's going on this morning, folks, radio folks, trying to get y'all sorted out so we can figure out what this is all about. Oh boy. Audio. Oh Lordy. I literally didn't touch any of this stuff, so I don't really know what's going on. This person says I'm good on their radio. Really? Are you sure? I can hear you in the radio and Facebook, or get Chuck, you're good on my radio. That sounds suspicious. Good morning, caller.
I can hear you good on my radio too.
You can?
Yes, only the music was kind of low, but I hear you talking.
No. It's not me that. Yeah, I see what you're saying, but no, it's not me. I want you to hear it. I need you to hear the music.
Well, the music was low, but I hear you talking clear. And
all right.
Okay.
Thank you, darling.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's actually the music that we need people to be able to hear, though, because then when I'm playing stuff through the computer, you can't hear it. So your talking is fine. Yeah, it's just the music, which should be coming over. Ay. What a heat. Hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out. So we've got the faders. Which one is playlist? That's Bluetooth. This is So I think it's this one that should be. This is so weird. USB 1 chat. We've got Bluetooth. Oh boy. I'm not sure what I did. I was trying to fix something the other day, and it looks like instead of fixing something, I may have broken something. And now I don't know what to do. Output routing. Let me see here now. Oh boy. All right. I'm totally clueless here. Main mix, all channels will be included in the USB mix. Output mix minus. Oh Lordy. This one is a conundrum, as they say. Don't quite know what to do. All right. Well, if I play anything this morning, this means that you guys might not be able to hear it. Aw, that's too bad. What on earth changed? I didn't change anything on the computer. I was touching the board, trying to fix my Bluetooth on Friday. So what did I do? What a hot mess. All right. We'll try to see if we can tinker around with it. And output. Yeah, no, I know you guys are hearing me. The problem is when I'm playing other stuff, people on the radio can't hear me, and that is a bit of a problem. Yeah. Okay. I'm not really sure. All right. We'll have to maybe not play anything through the radio today, like anything else other than me. That means you're not gonna be able to hear my commercials. I need y'all to hear. Oh no, no bueno. Hold on 1 second. Give me one more second. Let me try something else here. So,
Hey Kayman, los saluda DJ Yoyo, The Energy, y estás escuchando The Cold Hard Truth con la voz del pueblo, Sandra Hill, todas las mañanas, 7:30 AM, only on Bobo, 89.1 FM.
So, you guys couldn't hear that very well? No? It's so strange because I think this channel has moved, actually. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna try another one.
Mga kabayan, nakatutok po kayo sa Cold Hard Truth, hatid ni Sandy Hill, ang nangungunang talk show sa Cayman, ang boses ng masa.
All right. Output routing. So on social media, you guys can hear that. It's just on radio that you can't hear it. Your talking is fine, but there's no music that's coming. No. So, okay. So social can hear it, but radio can't. This is even more bizarre. Let me change this. I know this shouldn't be the setting, but Chuck, you might have to tell me. Yeah, that shouldn't be it. It's like, I know I'm going to change it to this, but then I know that that's not going to be the right setting. Chuck, can I just refresh the radio? Because if people are hearing me otherwise, I'm not sure. Let me just maybe log out. Sometimes you just have to restart everything. Log out, restart. All right, it's a bit weird. All right, hold on. Let me see what's going on here.
The Cold Hard Truth is Cayman's #1 talk show since it debuted in March 2020. According to independent research, we are the most listened to talk show in 2021, and most people prefer us to any other options on island. We tackle tough issues some days, and other times have fun and lighthearted discussions. But most importantly, the Cold Hard Truth is here for you.
Something is
Thank you for your support as we continue to be the voice of the people in 2022 and beyond.
Hold on, folks. Hold on. Let me try it again. I'm gonna change. Okay, that's not the right setting, but at least you guys can hear that on radio. So we'll leave it there for now. And then I think later on we'll have to check with Chuck and see if we can figure this out again. I'm not sure what has changed. The first time you played, it was better. The first time I played when? All right, I tell you what, Chuck, can I just start over? Can I just disconnect and restart? Because everything else is fine. It's just something with the radio. And so I don't know. All right, radio folks, my apologies. We're going to just, sorry. It's supposed to be on a,
Filters allowed, real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 is showing the island today. Cali feel the truth, no filters allowed. Real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 news show in the island today.
It's bizarre, but I can't quite figure out what's going on the radio. I have no clue. Something changed. I don't know what it is. See, I'm trying to listen to myself on the radio, but you guys can hear me. You just can't hear anything else that I'm playing, which is super weird. Okay. Yeah, you can hear fine, but you just can't hear the audio, right? Let me play one more.
Filters allowed, real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 news show in the island today. Cali feel the truth, no filters allowed. Real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 news show in the island today.
Okay, now you can hear it? Wait a minute.
Filters allowed, real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 news show in the island today. Cali feel the truth, no filters allowed. Real information, no filters allowed. Johnny #1 news show in the island today.
We're going to have to go with that, folks. It's actually not the right setting, but oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yeah, that's actually not the right setting. That I know with 1,000% certainty. But you know what? If you guys can hear it, then I don't know how to explain it to you. So we're going to just go with it for now and just get the show on the road. I'll have to look at it after the show because I know for sure that ain't it. What a hot mess. Can I get somebody to call me because I'm curious now if I can hear calls even. Can somebody call me again? Lord have mercy. Somebody give me a call. Let's see. If your Bluetooth is on, the feedback will go straight to whatever. No. That's not the issue. Good morning, caller. Can radio people let me know if they're able to hear this caller? Good morning, caller.
I hope so, Sandra. Good
I
morning.
know, right? We need to just get this show going, honey chow.
Yeah, but tell them give me a thumbs up now before I go and waste my time.
Yeah, so Gary says good. So I think that they can hear you okay. All right. Okay.
All right, Sandra.
Thanks, honey. I appreciate it.
No, I'm not finished.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were just testing things for me.
No. I want to start this show off good this morning.
Oh, okay.
My name is Curtis Connolly.
Yes, Curtis.
I live in Cayman Brac.
Yes, sir.
I did 33 and a half years in the fire service. I retired in July 2015.
Okay.
Sandra, from when I was 20 years old, I'm a person that loves cars and dogs. I'm a person that'll buy a car, drive it for a while, where you see that on my social media, and get sick of it and sell it. Thursday or Friday, I think it was Friday, I can't remember. Around 8 o'clock in the morning, I get this call from this dude saying he wants to see me. And I was like, okay, I'll be home in about half hour, 45 minutes. So he said, okay. So I said to him, do you need my address and thing? He said, no, I already have it.
Oh.
I said, okay. So got home. I called him, told him I was home. He didn't answer. He called back. Then I told him I was home. He came, him and another guy. I must say they were nice guys, decent young men, spoke good. But he told me that he got a report that I am selling vehicles without a trade and business license. And I told him, I say, it's not like I don't have a used car lot and got cars sitting there, whatever. But anyway, he said he was going to give me a warning notice. And if he wanted, he could have even give me a ticket.
Oh.
But the vehicles I'm selling, Sandra, is my own vehicles. And I'm not doing it for a business. I'm a person that, like right now, I bought a truck that had a little bit of problem. So I bought the truck and fixing the problems. And then sometime I'll keep it, or I'll just say, you know what, I can just sell it and get something else. So I don't know. A lot of people call me and say that it's my personal vehicle, so they can't be doing that. So I would like to know from some.
You want my take on it? Because I can probably help you out a little bit.
Yeah, well, anybody take
anybody's take on it. So
yeah.
I can see why they believe and they think that you are running a business, because I think the definition of operating a business, and this is a little bit of like a gray area. It's like people who have, say, for example, I have some used clothes, right? And I'm selling my used clothes on Marketplace or whatever. But if every single weekend I am doing, even if it's a yard sale, there are people who will say, oh, because of the frequency at which you're doing this just isn't a one-off or a two-off sort of thing. This is you consistently selling your clothes every single weekend. So that then becomes a business. Whether you're making a profit or not isn't the point, because of course there are lots of businesses that never make a profit, right? So they're not looking at whether or not you're making a profit, or even if that's your intention. But I do believe that what has happened, Curtis, and I chuckle because every single time I look at your Facebook page, you are selling a new vehicle. So it does
I'm selling one in about 3 weeks too. So they'll give me another ticket.
So it does appear though, like if you're selling 4 vehicles a month and you continue to sell 4 vehicles a month, it can't be that you personally own, this is what people are thinking, it can't be that you personally own 4 vehicles a month that you're turning around that quickly and then selling. You know what I mean? So I think in your case, it is a frequency situation. Like, why on earth is Curtis obtaining all these vehicles, flipping them and selling them? Because that's exactly what it is that you're doing. I mean, I don't know how long you're keeping each one and how many you have in your arsenal. But to be fair to DCI, I think that they do have a point. And listen, it's only $75 for us here. I don't even know in Cayman Brac if you guys pay anything to get a business license.
I can do it.
Yeah,
but,
just get a business license.
But a lot of people call me and say, Curtis, that's your personal vehicle. So
yeah, but I mean, it's like I could be selling my personal stuff, but again, if I'm doing it with a degree of frequency, then it's like, okay, has that now become a business?
Yeah, but come chat with me. Don't drop a first warning notice on me. And he actually told me that he could have given me a ticket that I had to go to court if he wanted.
Oh, mess. I would say, this is one of those things. It's $75. Lord knows government needs the money. And it is a sort of questionable thing. You'd be in full compliance if you just paid your $75 and that's it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
I don't mind paying that.
Yeah, you can sell all the vehicles you want after that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That one's solved.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Have a good one.
All right, cool.
I'm still trying to get over this little flu. All right. That one was easy. And I do think, like I said, in all fairness to DCI, I can definitely see, because here's the thing, Curtis. I mean, that might not be his intention, but there are a lot of people who import vehicles. And I want to talk about this because, funny enough, I was just talking to a girlfriend about this yesterday, about people who are even in the car rental business, have no insurance. They haven't set it up properly. Like one guy is letting his friend use his business license, and it's like all sort of a conundrum until something happens, right? And then it's like, oh, was that person actually running a business? They should have had car insurance. They're renting out these cars to people. Like, you have to, I suppose, really understand what makes it a business and what doesn't. And sometimes I think it's not always crystal clear. But I do think in the case of Curtis, I mean, if I were an outsider looking at just the volume of stuff that he's selling in terms of vehicles, I would say that that's a business. Even if it's his personal cars. I mean, you can't sell 5 cars a month and go, well, I just have 5 cars every single month. I don't even know where Curtis gets all these vehicles from, man. He's like loaded with vehicles. But if you need a car on that note, Go check Curtis's page. 22 hours ago, he's got up a Dodge Ram. Is that a Dodge Ram? No, that's a Chevy. Oh Lord, I'm the worst at cars. Chevy something or another. A little SUV, black. Go call Curtis. Because he's always got something. But you know what? Just pay the $75. It's one of those things where nobody's gonna hassle you after that. But child, he be selling Hondas, BMWs, Tahoes, all sorts of stuff he's got for sale. Oh, look at your cute little princess. She's so happy. She's so cute. All right. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. And hopefully everybody can hear you.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes, Andy, that was right. That was the right suggestion or telling Curtis. But you know what, Sandy, really hurts me is that we as Caymanians are the ones that gets the stick. You understand? Because when you look around in Cayman and you see at every corner, you see somebody, whether they're selling food out of the trunk, or whether they're on the sidewalk every weekend selling fried fish as fish fry, or whether they're out there selling clothes that is online, and majority of them are not our people. They come in, they see every nationality, and that does it because they see that there's a way to make money. Yes, Curtis. Yes, I suggest to be right, to be contribute your portion. Then nobody can't come and touch you and say that what you're doing is illegal. But what I want to say to DCI is that Curtis is a little fry. He is a little fry in the big ocean out there that doing all sorts of businesses, and we Caymanians, small restaurants, businesses are suffering because of the lack of police and enforcement to the people home. So I agree with you, Sandy. Tell them to do it, but we need that protection from all walks of businesses. You got people pulling up on your driveway saying, "Hey, you want your yard cut?" Where are they for that? You see people dragging lawnmowers through the town. Stop them. Say, "Hey, where's your business license?" Some are just come into the country, do what they want to do. But people that are known like myself or the smaller little businesses like Curtis that's, retired, he needs to live. And if he's doing well, then so be it. But yes, Curtis and everyone else there, get on a business license.
Yeah, I mean, it's only $75 because remember years ago they lifted the fee, which it's a bit of a double-edged sword, to be honest, because by them lifting the fee, so many new Caymanians have jumped on the bandwagon of obtaining a business license, and God knows a lot of them are just non-compliant. They're the ones that we're having so many issues with in terms of work permits and taking out permits for people that don't have no work, and it's a hot mess. They really let me say this about DCI. I think that they're in the business of issuing licenses, I suppose, but I really, really, really need to find out who's in charge of enforcement, because their enforcement sucks. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I don't know if in law they feel like they don't have the power to do what they need to do, but honestly, their enforcement leaves a lot to be desired. There are people out there running around doing all sorts of stuff. And once you have breached, it's so interesting that Curtis told us the process, because I didn't even know that they could fine you or give you a notice or whatever, because sometimes I wonder if any of these, like I said, mostly newcomers who are abusing the system, if they ever get fined or what happens to them.
They never. They don't.
I hear some of them have appeared in court, not, what do you call it? They've appeared in court and not having their, for not having insurance on these vehicles and stuff like that. But my goodness, we need to.
But anyway, good advice to Curtis. Next time you see him or hear from him, I hope they grant it to him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. They'll rubber stamp it. I must say, In all fairness to DCI, I don't think that they put, and this is to the board now, I suppose, I don't think that they put a lot of effort into scrutinizing applications. It's like, okay, if you meet the very minimum criteria, you supply evidence that you're Caymanian, whatever, then they're fine with it and boom. Somebody else says all these mobile car washes. Thank you, Miss Darlene.
Okay, bye-bye.
Somebody talked about all the mobile car washes, and there's so many, there are people, for example, who have they're doing the every weekend out at the gas stations in Eastern Avenue. You guys know that we have reported those before. They're out there having yard sales. It's not just a yard sale when you're doing it every single weekend. And I think that again, that becomes a problem. And unfortunately, I'm looking for some tissue here because I feel my sinus is starting to, whew. Unfortunately, most of those people are not even Caymanians. So the irony of it is certainly not lost on me, but Lord, we're going to talk about it some more. So I'm trying to get over this flu. I was telling y'all before I realized that there was an issue. I was telling Miss Stacy that these mosquitoes are killing me in the morning when I have to walk Zeus, like literally biting me alive. And I bought a jacket when I was in Miami the other day that's kind of like, it doesn't have a hoodie onto it, but I need to find one with a good hoodie so I can cover my ears, my eyes, everything, because these swarming mosquitoes are killing me. But look at, I was saying to Miss Stacy, I sent her WhatsApp and I'm like, I'm looking for this like jacket, hoodie, whatever. This is what she messaged me. She's like, is this what you're looking for? Let me tell you, all those of you watching online, this is a little swim thing for Zeus. So when we take him, he hasn't been in the water yet. Coming up soon, honey child. This is an island, so he have to get in that ocean. But this is his little swim vest. So she's like, is this what you're looking for? I'm like, I don't think I can wear that, Miss Stacy. I probably couldn't wear that since I was born. No, that's for the dog. That one's not for me. Somebody's asking if Curtis can say who gave him the notice. He said no, he doesn't think it's fair to name them. So, yeah. All right, so let's get some of the fun stuff out of the way, and then we're going to move on to some more serious discussions. Somebody's lost a passport, a Bolivian passport. So if anybody finds a passport, driver's license, what? They're asking, can you please report for me? Lost my passport, ID, driver's license, paper for my car, credit card at Bodden Town, Carmen Boulevard, last night around 7:30 p.m., August the 6th. And the person is Policarpo Nunez Slorzano. So Polo has lost all of his stuff. My gosh, how do you lose all that stuff? What a mess. Okay. Kevin says, let's have a mosquito segment. Oh, Lord. All I need to know is how to run away from these mosquitoes, honey child, because they are ridiculous. I have so many mosquito bites again, all over my arms, and then they like to swarm my head, and I'm like trying to kill myself, slapping them around. Well, I'm trying to kill them, but end up slapping my own self in the head. Go figure. All right. I just need an effective repellent. Like, what can I put on other than a hazmat suit that can protect me from these pesky mosquitoes? They are just disgusting. All right. Let me not think about mosquitoes right now. Okay. They get under my skin, literally. Morning, caller.
Sandra, me again. I don't like calling back twice, but I just wanted to clarify something.
Yeah.
I didn't take it as a business because I just like doing it. But
yeah,
you know what is so funny and what got me thinking, and I hope it's not this way. But if you remember Tuesday when you had the topic on the Shangang or whatever new vehicles.
Oh, yes.
I called in and I said, who would be so crazy to buy a Shangang vehicle? And then I said, the only thing worse than that is voting for Park government. So I'm wondering if this isn't a retaliation from them.
No.
I hope not.
No,
I hope not.
I don't think so. I
but
honestly,
someone actually reported it, but if it's not them, I know where else it's coming from. But
probably your friend,
who
telling you drunk all the time.
No, it's not her, man. It's not her. It's not her.
Yeah,
No,
I don't think so at all, to be honest. Most people probably didn't even hear that comment from you. I got it and I laughed, but I don't think most people even heard it.
No, a lot of people heard it because they called me and say they want to talk about it.
Listen, first of all, DCI wouldn't be working that fast. Yeah, I don't know what planet you live on, but they don't move that quick. Anyway.
Okay.
So,
but I still don't like the Pac element.
Well, you don't have to like him. That's definitely your choice.
Yeah.
All right, honey.
All right.
Thanks. No, I don't think it's anything like that. I think that it's just one of those cases where, I mean, let's be honest, Curtis, you do post everything on social media. And I think you got quite a few friends now. So, or frenemies, as the more appropriate term might be. So yeah, somebody always watching you, honey child. Listen, you'd be surprised who watching. You just don't even know. Morning, caller.
Yeah, morning, Sandy. So I mean that if, for example, I got a couple of cars, 4 or 5 cars laying around, and I want to fix them up to sell them and get it out of my yard, I mean, I have to get a business license for that too.
Well, if it's an ongoing enterprise, you see, that's the difference. If you fix 4 or 5 cars, that's a one-off thing, right? You're done after the 5 cars. That's different. If it's ongoing, every single week or every single month, you're selling 4 or 5 cars, then there's no way you could have 50 cars all parked in your house or whatever. At some point, it does cross the line and they would consider it a business.
Well, wouldn't it be ongoing if it take 2 or 3 years before I sell all of the cars?
If you had 5 cars in 2 or 3 years, no one is going to tell you get a business license. But Curtis is selling it a lot more frequent than that. So I think that is why he's come under scrutiny.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Oh, well, all right.
Yeah. So I do think it's a matter of frequency. Oh Lord, y'all make me laugh at these comments here this morning. Yeah, I do think that it's a matter. Good morning, sir. Good morning, teacher. I call you teacher. You know who you are. Yes. So I do think it's like I said, if I have, I'm clearing out my closet and I do a little, clearing out of what do you call it? A little yard sale. But if every single weekend I'm up my yard having yard sale, then that's a totally different situation. Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. Y'all talking about you want me to put people in Mall Road jail? I don't even know. Does Mall Road have a jail? Child, we don't have a jail. We have a permanent banishment. We don't even give you a chance to come out of jail on Mall Road. Once you go in, you're not coming back out. That's a life sentence. Strong Will says, I think it's his neighbors, his own people, bad-mindedness. Probably. I mean, listen, if it wasn't for bad-mindedness, Caymanians wouldn't have no mind none at all. Let's be honest. We are some of the most bad-minded people. I mean, I hate to say this because in all honesty, a lot of Caymanians are wonderful people and whatever, but we kind of bad-minded still. If we had to be honest, y'all don't like to see people doing nothing that you can't do yourself. And it happens. What a mess. Bad-mindedness gonna kill y'all. That's why they have a saying like, oh, don't let people know what you're doing, because once they know what you're doing, they're gonna be trying to stop you. And there's some truth to that. I don't know if it's really a Caymanians. It's just human nature, job. People just petty, jealous, and ridiculous. All you can do is just move with grace, honey child. Move with grace. But it happens. I remember when I started my little rookie business, child, everybody was complaining. Not everybody, not the customers saving money, but certainly the telecoms were running to Off-Reg complaining at the time. And Off-Reg was like, get a life. Is basically what they told them. Like, y'all really think Sandy can be taking any business from you? Get a life and go focus on your core business. Get that right. And you wouldn't have to worry about competition or worry about your customers. Oh, Lord. Since then, we've made some legal changes to it so that, I'm not running afoul of any laws because, they always be like, we keep an eye on you. The customer takes full control of their systems. But yeah, trust me. Poor Curtis. But it is what it is. Like I said, just go get the license. $75. Give it to government, honey chill. So this weekend, it was the first Saturday of the month. So you guys know I went and spent some time with the seniors by Uncle Rene's Old Timers Corner down there off School Road. Some new people, some new faces were there. It was good to see new people finding it and coming out. So I got some birthday gifts I wanted to share with y'all what I got. So first of all, my uncle gave me a copy of this book, and it's so funny because this is my second copy in less than a week. I think that's telling me something. See this here? Oh, this is my little post-it note. This book, Miss Susie Soto gave me a copy last weekend when I interviewed her as well. And this is a history of turtlers and schooners. And folks, we're going to be reading this book. I don't know if y'all love to read, but I'm going to be reading to you because there's so many amazing pictures and look at the turtles. Oh my God. But one of those history books. And so there's a few people there. I'm in awe of people who have such a grasp of Caymanian history and such amazing memories, because I can't remember nothing, honey chill. But some of these people are so amazing with their recollection and the things that they know. And you know how they learned all this? It's oral history. That is why those Cayman Voices series to me are so important, because we get a lot of a little snippet, I should say, of that oral history, and we get to record it. Like somebody said, the one with Miss Susie, they're like, surely, Sandy, you're doing a part 2, because she's not even scratched the surface in terms of her contributions to this country and the things that she's done, especially in the world of tourism, from her Tortuga Club back in East End. I mean, if you haven't had a chance to listen to that interview, folks, please make some time to do so. Little interesting things like when she said, when they first came here, talking about bad-mindedness. Apparently bad-mindedness has always existed. So they wanted to purchase land. This is in the early 60s or find out how to set up on 7 Mile Beach. And they were told there was no more land than 7 Mile Beach to be had. Now, y'all know that was a lie. I don't know who told them that back then, but that was a big lie. It's like, really? Before the tourism boom, there was no land on 7 Mile Beach? Child, please. Anyway, they went to East End instead. And, she said it turned out to be quite a blessing. The East End people needed it. They hired East Enders, hired Caymanians. And she said they only hired Caymanians for many, 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 many years. And I was like, really? I mean, granted, back then, it's not like you had the same population that you do now. But if people are desirous of hiring Caymanians, I think a lot of good effort, especially in tourism, can be made on that front. Of course, a lot has changed, and a lot of our people no longer see tourism as a viable industry. Y'all want to be able to put on a shirt and tie and go sit up in the bank and make less money. Look into tourism jobs, honey child. They be making good money. So anyway, this is my second copy of this book. I don't think he signed it. I should have gotten him to sign it. Miss Susie signed hers. She put a little note in hers. So now I have 2 copies of this book. Thank you very much. And Miss Vernice made me some handmade items. So she's into arts and crafts. Y'all look at this. And then, hold on now. So, yes, like a little crest here. Isn't that pretty? And then she says, she signed it, Miss Vernice Miles. I love it. So thank you so much for my early birthday presents. And let me just see now. My husband's messaging me about my daughter's birthday. He's like, don't forget. Gotta do a little party for her, honey child. I'm not even doing anything for my birthday this year. I think it's a crying shame. And then somebody else got me this 16-piece bathroom set. Isn't that adorbs? So cute. Thank you to all of my old timers clubs members. They were having such a good time. And then I got the pleasure of, so I told you guys, since it was my birthday month, I was going to be treating everybody to lunch, because they always have little snacks and stuff. Now, because I was under the weather, me and kitchen never meet. So I did not cook anything, but that doesn't stop me from having food now. So I made sure I went all out on the food. We had mac and cheese and 2 different types. We had rotisserie chicken, fried chicken, all kind of stuff, cornbread. If I was in full form, I would have been in the kitchen slaving away and cooking some good food. But anyway, we had a great time, good company, of course. And I also had the opportunity to play bingo. Well, I was the roller. Is that what you call the person calling out the numbers? I don't know what it is. But I called out all the numbers, and that was just so much fun. And it occurred to me that I haven't played bingo in a minute, but I actually quite enjoy playing bingo. So I think I'm going to get myself a little bingo set to have around the house. Because sometimes we have like a game night, and my husband loves to play Ludi. Chal, if you're not a Jamaican, you might not even know what Ludi is. But we have a Ludi board. And I bought that for him years ago, and he has sure made good use of that. You know, I used to play a lot of dominoes. Not that I was particularly good, but I really enjoy dominoes. And I had a custom table that I had made. All right, let me tell y'all something about me. If you don't know this about me, I'm going to tell you. When I get into something, oh, girl, honey, chill, I gives it my all. I'm that kind of person. I remember when I got into bowling. I'm the person who goes out and buys my own bowling ball and my own bowling bag and my own bowling shoes. You would have thought I was a pro when I showed up. You're like, what, girl? Mess with you until you saw me bowl. And then you're like, oh, shit. Girl, you. But, you know, I just love it. I just like immerse myself into it. And I really get into it. Same thing with like tennis and squash. I had to go get my rackets and my this and my that and my shoes, my squash shoes. And you know, what's life without really going deep sometimes. So I say that to say this. When I came back to the island and I discovered dominoes, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the best game ever. And I love people who can really read and play. That ain't me. I'm mostly matching, and I watch a little bit of like body language. You know, I'm trying to, is there a little twinkle in your eye? When you like you're looking at me because I'm like, oh, you got that last piece of 8 or whatever. I'm like, I see you trying to block the game. You know, it's just so much fun. But I had my own custom dominoes table that I ordered from some guy in Puerto Rico, or I think it was. It was a beautiful table. It had Cayman Islands on it. Of course, I had to put our flag on it. It was sturdy and foldable. And it had the little cup holders. I've never seen a table like that since. And let me see if I can find it. And I must tell you that I know I've got some pictures on Facebook. Let me see. I'll find one. But yes, honey child, that was like the best little dominoes table. Aha! I told you I'd find it. Look, yeah. Hold on now. Let me show y'all back in the day, boy. This is way back in, oh Lord, 14 years ago. Back in 2008. Here I was at the dominoes table trying to pretend like I could really play, looking all serious. But this was the dominoes table. Look at this. And I used to go down by Miss Sheena's, and big shout out to Sheena and Miss, oh God, what's Sheena's mama's name? Was it Miss Betty? And we would play, but child, they would play all at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Now, even 14 years ago, I wasn't up for that, honey child. By 1 o'clock, I was like, okay, I got to go home now. I'm tired. But there was it said, I love Cayman in the middle. There was my little dominoes table, child. And anybody recognize these young men? I think these are cousins of cousins. This is a family party. That looks like JJ. Miss Aline, are these your boys? I think one of them is JJ. You know, I could swear that is him. Them East Enders, they can play too, you know. So anyway, I had that, and I actually had customized dominoes as well that said I love Cayman on them. And oh Lord, these were the good old days for me. 14 years ago, the good old days. So listen, one lady used to play with us all the time down by Miss Betty. I'm not going to call her name. And she loved that dominoes table more than me. Trust me. And so one day she was like, Sandy, can I have your dominoes table? And I was like, you want my dominoes table? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. So I just gave her the dominoes table. And I tell you what, I think she put it to good use. I don't know if she still has it because it was really of good quality. But yeah, back in the day, honey child, we used to play us a lot of dominoes. I don't know where I found the time, but I sure did. But anyway, so even sometimes now we, I need to see if I can maybe order that table again. It was a nice little table. We have a regular plain dominoes table now with no decorative stuff on it. But yeah, you can get the customized dominoes. I think I even ordered my uncle because, you know, my uncles, Raymond and maybe even Uncle Rennie, they used to go and represent Cayman playing darts and dominoes and whatever. They were actually really, really good. And so I think I might have gotten him some custom dominoes at one time as well. But anyway, those were the good old days, honey. Chill. I'm here reminiscing. But yes, I kind of immersed myself into certain things. So the next thing that I'm going to be immersing myself into, I see it coming, is when I get back into pickleball. I'm going to start trying to play this week. So if I can sustain it for a little bit, and this is going to help me with the weight loss too, because child, running up and down that court, not no joke now. That's a couple calories. Well, you're going to be expending. I could see myself getting a little custom pickleball paddle. They're nice. Honey chill. As I get older, though, I'm less likely to really immerse myself in these things, because then I think, oh, Sandy, whatever happened to the whole bowling phase? I went through the phase and then boom, it was done. I still might have squash rackets around the place. I don't even know. I'm not playing squash anymore because I kind of rough on the knees. So I'm less likely as I get older. I think I mellow out with these things. I'm less likely to immerse myself into it. But anyway, now thank you, everyone who gave me early birthday presents. My birthday is not until the 18th of the month. Gigi is coming up in a couple days, so we got to get her sorted out first. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Hello, honey chill. I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm a little salty this morning.
Oh, geez, peace.
Yes,
Salt not good for your pressure. What's going on?
Well, I'm a little salty. I hear your point. I think you gave him good advice, but I'm a little ticked off because I completely agree with Sterling. They go strength to every manion, but nobody else. Since we're doing all sorts of enforcement and sightseeing, because clearly somebody's watching what he's doing on social media.
Yes.
And clearly feels that he's conducting a business. If that's what it is, like you said, it's $75, and I think that's not really waste. They moved the fee that I think it's $75 is the half of this. Yeah, well, P&D fee is what's being waived for micro businesses. I believe that's under 5 employees. So, Mr. Curtis, go ahead and get yourself back because they won't leave you alone. But I just want to put it out there for work and immigration and whoever else, enforcement, the chief immigration officer, the
listen,
DG,
just make it across the board. Enforcement for everybody.
Agreed, but I got a different little plug this morning. Since they are monitoring social media, they may want to go and monitor that KY finders, nannies, or whatever. Because if you took out a work permit for somebody who you said that you needed, I've just arrived to the island and I'm available for work. What happened to the person who took out your work permit that said that they needed you? So if we're cracking down across the board, we need to crack down all across the board. What we continue to do is import poverty into this country, create situations that allow people to be completely ripe for exploitation, and then cry and say, oh, people being mistreated. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not saying that this is okay. But they know exactly what they're coming into. People make it seem as though if it ain't happening in Cayman, it ain't happening at all. And some of them come here full well knowing and understanding the condition and situation that they are coming into and still get up and complain about raw meat. Some people would rather come here and live in a condition that they wouldn't die in their own country for the idea of what they think could be. But nobody thinks about what it couldn't be. Nobody considers that. It's like, I don't know, they must be thinking that we got money trees in the backyard just picking it off. I'm telling you. Everyone breaking up in this plastic post talking about I'm available. I'm not talking to the people who help us or who are transitioning out of needing nannies or helpers or domestic helpers or whatever you want. Right? I'm talking about those people who are I'm talking about the people who, and they know who I'm talking to, they know themselves, who are taking out work permits to people because they think that they're helping them, and they're creating a worse situation. They're increasing our population with people who don't have the means to contribute to themselves, let alone to the economy. So I'm gonna just put that little plug out there if anybody wants to go.
No, I listen. I agree with you. I think that if we're gonna do compliance, we do it for everybody. Yeah. And I mean, listen, I am insulted, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I am definitely insulted when they be coming after Caymanians, when I know a lot of non-Caymanians or newer Caymanians are out there doing a whole lot of mess.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And to the people driving around serving food out of ice coolers in the back of their car, that's unsanitary. Can DEH look into that, please? I'm tired of
Yes.
it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Absolutely
Absolutely.
disgusting.
Yep.
Yet somebody who may have converted their whole garage into a semi-bakery slash
Speaking
restaurant.
of which, yes, honey child, I gotta make a phone call this morning. Thank you, caller. You just reminded me of something.
Yeah, so if we're going to crack down and be compliant and look all legit, then let's get it all the way
Yeah,
together.
I reckon they don't have enough compliance officers.
Yeah, we need to get it all the way together because I'm sick of seeing people higgling and haggling on the side of the road every other day, higgling and haggling out of their car trunk, higgling and haggling on Facebook. I'm tired of seeing it. So if we're going to crack down, let's do it across the board. Not just the K-Man, so we can sound and easy.
Thank you, caller.
Both of job sites of people driving up and down in the car wash car, but doing construction, yeah, them too.
Yeah.
Them too.
Yeah.
Them too.
I reckon that they need more compliance people, to be honest, as well. But since we're having this conversation, I wasn't really going to go down this situation yet. But you know what? Y'all bear with me. Let me see if I can get this young man on the phone because I believe in compliance 1,000%. But I also think that, again, as the previous callers have said, let's be fair. It shouldn't just be Caymanians that they're going to target when it comes to compliance. And let me be clear. I don't think that DCI is doing this. I think that bad-minded people are the ones who are then reporting it to DCI. And of course, DCI is like, well, at some point they better try and do their job and get somebody. But y'all know how on a Sunday I've talked about how I love to take a little drive out east. I mean, that's a thing, right? Caymanians, like I remember before I even left Cayman, my aunt, Adonia, used to take us to East End all the time. As a little girl, I always thought that was such a long drive. I was like, oh my God, East End is so far. For a Georgetowner, back in those days, it seemed far. And then it would be, like I always thought East End looked like it was high up on a cliff. Like, there is a little piece that seems a little bit more elevated than the rest of the island. But anyway, it was a thing. She's from East End. She would take us kids, take me along with her 2 children, visit her family, whatever. And you'd get some good cooked food up East End and just hang out and whatever. So I think I have some childhood memories from that. I love a little drive out to East End on a Sunday. So lately I've been going to Jimian. What is Jimian's last name? Is he in McLean? Anyway, Jimian, he's the young man with the patch. And he does a fantastic soup on the main road on Fridays. And then Sundays, he takes it, what they call in East End, I guess, back road or whatever, down by his house that he's building. And he has a whole little setup there. I mean, you can get curry-kunk. Does he do curry-kunk? Well, I know he does the steam kunk, which is amazing. Oh my God. I could have some right now. It is so spicy. That would just clear up my sinuses, Naina. Hold on. I called Jimmy on the phone. Jimmy got some good food, honey child. He does, fish, steam fish, fried fish, fritters, all kind of stuff.
Hello?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Listen, I have you on the radio because we were talking about, ironically enough, business licenses this morning and enforcement and this sort of thing. So, of course, my mind turned to your situation. I wanted you to share with our listeners because I was just talking about how good your food is. Tell us again what you be doing on a Sunday, honey child. Put in a shameless plug. You have the kunk that I like.
The roast kunk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the best. Roast kunk. You got fried fish. What else? You do soup.
Steamed fish.
Mm-hmm.
Jerk chicken. And the kunk soup.
Yes. So all good food. And how long have you been doing it down that area? Is back road?
Land, yeah, Survival Road, yeah.
Yeah.
But 3 to 4 years, that was it.
My
on
God.
The pandemic.
So 3 to 4 years. Is that when you started the soup on Fridays as well at the front of the road?
No, that's a different thing. I create something different. On a Sunday, I create this one named Roast Sunday.
Okay.
The idea is that the people could come and relax and get away from the long week, you know what I mean? So I call it the Roast Sunday because everything is in the file paper,
Right.
Something different from your borders, you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. So I got a message about a couple weeks ago because normally I try to come up, every week or every other week to see you because that can't be so good. But I got a little message that there's something that was going on with you and you had been shut down. So tell us what exactly happened.
One lady came there from the enforcement over there said they got some call, some complaint about guy doing the food and I got no license and stuff, different little stuff. But I tell her I got license in mobile.
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday out the road and Sunday by my land, you know what I mean? That why I got mobile, cause I got trailer. So that like you now come and say I need you to cook for my husband, that why I got mobile. But they saying no true, I doing it by the house, it this and that. So all right, cool. I said, all right, I won't go the right way because a lot of people behind me with the food, you know what I mean? So I gonna go the right way. Got the license. I got a license right now in the kitchen and almost a month I still can't open because they gotta go to this one, they gotta go to that.
So basically what they told you then is your mobile license wasn't good enough for what you were doing on Sundays or what?
Something like that they were trying to say. They say, why are you doing on a Sunday? The people sitting down, I need another license for that because the people in is sitting down. So up there by the line, it's like a residential. It's so much things to it, like I going crazy. I don't even know which way to go, where to come back. So I got some people trying to work on it, you know, trying to get it sorted. But right, you know.
Oh, it's because you put little. It's because you put little benches out there for people to be comfortable. They're saying it's no longer mobile.
Yes. So on the new license I have now, it's a restaurant there, something about a restaurant or something like that.
You know what you should have done? Just pick up the seats, and you could have still kept operating.
But now what I was trying to do. So I was the guy that helped me dealing with it. I said, well, but if we move the benches.
Yeah.
But a lot of the customers tell me now, if I move the benches, they're not coming because
they like to sit down. Yeah.
And they like to sit down. So if I can move the benches, they're not going to support me no more. So, you know,
what a mess.
What to do now, and it's all about the customers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
so
course.
I don't know what to do right now. Some people say they're not going to come if I got a bench in there because they leave from town west to come and sit down. They're not from there to get their food and go in their car. That don't make no sense.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? I'm in a tight spot right now, you know what I mean?
So I don't understand why my God. I mean they couldn't work with you and allow you to continue to
yeah, exactly. Other people out there robbing and doing all kind of thing, and I don't know. It does make me want to give up, I tell you the truth. But
well, don't give up because yeah, don't give up. Can I tell you what? The food is amazing. I mean, you know, I love it. I love the soup. It's more like a chowder, but I absolutely love your soup and stuff. So don't give up. You know, a lot of times it's unfortunate that these obstacles are put in our way, especially as Caymanians, but follow the process. As you say, you want to be compliant.
Yeah, I try the best. Yeah, I try and be the best because, you know, if I don't get it right, I know it down the line somebody else will call or do something. So just try to get it right, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
doing it the right way look like going I don't know when I go, but I don't know.
So, somebody want to know about where you getting your conch from. Is it because it's not conch season or what?
Special order, man.
A special order. All right. Make sure you're compliant with that one too, because you know they're gonna be watching it.
Oh yeah. We good, man. Yeah, man. Man. We got all kind of people. We got different things from, you know.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of money on that, you know. When the time for it, you know, that's go by a big bulk one time, you know, from different people from east to west. Yeah. So
all right, my love.
That, you know?
Yes, thank you so much. Just wanted to check in with you. And once you get it sorted out, you let me know because I'll be back.
Yeah. All right, no problem. You see the post whenever we get everything sorted out.
Yeah. Okay, dear.
All right.
Thank you, good. Too, you're welcome. All right, dear. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Sandy. This is Dexter here.
Hey,
I just got back from Honduras.
Yes, sir. How was your trip?
It was great.
Yes,
it was
good.
very spiritual and rewarding. But
nice.
That's what I call you about. That can be another time. I've been to, God knows, must be 20 different places in my life. I'm 76 this year. I haven't had any problem with immigration at all. I just want to tell you what happened when I was leaving the airport to come back and Cayman Airways on Friday. I presented my documents to this immigration officer, and she was reluctant to give me, you know, after about 10 minutes, she was holding on to my passport. So I said, what happened? Javier, who works at A.L. Thompson's, his wife was right there, and she said, what happened? He said that I didn't, they had no record that I had met the immigration officer when I came in to Honduras. And that was a lie. When I arrived, I was standing in line. So someone from the immigration section beckoned me on to go to the front of the line because Javier and his family he had 5 in his family, 3 children and wife. And I spoke to Reba Dilbert, who was going on. She was in transit to Benaico. And she went, they were helping her because she was in a wheelchair. So after she went, then I went to this immigration officer, woman, and she was on the phone. She was looking up on her computer. I was there for about over 5 minutes. She handed me my my passport, and I didn't check to see if it was stamped.
So let me just be clear. This is coming back into Cayman.
No, this was when I was arrived. So I wanted to paint a picture of the whole scenario.
Oh.
And she was on the phone, the immigration officer on the phone talking, and she was fiddling around with her computer. After a while, she gave me give me my passport. And I said, is everything okay? She shook her head and she signaled me to go, to go and pick up my suitcase. I was there for 2 weeks. And Friday, when I was ready to going through the immigration, went no problem at all with Cayman Airways. I went and presented my passport to her, and she told Javier's wife, because she's asked what was wrong. She said that I had never checked into the immigration, and it was the same woman. It was the same immigration officer that checked me and Javier and his family when we came in. So Javier's wife said to her, but you were the same one that checked us through. She says, yeah, I remember you, but she couldn't remember me. Christ, I look like Colonel Sanders. I look at Colonel Sanders in Kentucky Fried Chicken. So how could you not remember my face? So anyway, I said, what's the problem? She says, well, now I'm gonna have to pay a fine of almost $7,000. Another time, I will give you the exact amount. And she would not give me my passport. It happened so that Javier knew the manager for Cayman Airways, and I big shout out to the manager of Cayman Airways. He went to her and told her what had happened. She took the money out of her because I didn't have. They wouldn't even take. They wouldn't even take a debit card. I would have to go to some place in town, and that way I would miss my flight. So she straightened it out for me. She paid the $260. It was equivalent to 260 American dollars, US dollars. And when I went back, she was still there, but she handed my passport over to another immigration officer. So I said to her, what is the name of that officer there? Oh, she don't know her name. That's what the woman tell me. I said, you go work with her and you don't know who her name is? I said, there's more to it than meets the eye. Where there's smoke, there's fire. This is and I said that where everybody could hear me, this is a scam. I don't like to generalize or be judgmental, but that is what it seems to me. So then I said, I took my camera and took a picture of her, the immigration officer, which I will send it to you later on, and I will also send you the name of the officer, and at probably tomorrow. And she says, "No, you can't do that. You got to delete that." So I deleted it, but it went into my trash, and one of Javier's children, she brought it back up. So that's how I got the picture. So they're not very smart. And I want to warn people going there. The reason why I don't like to hear dirty laundry, but I think people should be aware of it, or even the government should be aware of what's going on. Because if I could not pay that $250, I would have been stuck in Honduras until I got it straightened up till Tuesday flight. That's ridiculous, man. And it really leaves a bad taste in
Mr.
my
Dexter,
mouth.
let me just clarify something, right? So this is at the ticket agent in Honduras counter?
No, not the ticket agent.
Where is this? Customs,
This was at the
immigration.
immigration. This was at the immigration. I went through the ticket counter representative, and I paid for two suitcases.
Okay.
This was at the immigration office. It had two or three immigration officers. At the time, there was only two there, and she gave me how would I put it?
So you see immigration officers when you're leaving Honduras?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And just before you get to the departure, the only help that I got out of there, if that Cayman Airways manager hadn't come to my rescue, I could not have leave Honduras. And I said, where are you going to take me to jail? That's the last place I want to go. Sunday, I've been to about 20, because my last wife, she was a manager, came on to British Airways, so I could fly all over the place. So I've been to about 20 different places, no immigration issue at all. And then there was another guy that I was in the restroom, and another guy came in there and he said, it happened to me the same way. I had to go and pay another. I paid $260 as well. So this must be a scam that's going on between her and the operators to make money.
Well, I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I only been to Honduras one time, but what a mess.
All she had to do was to take responsibility. It was her fault by her not paying attention on the computer, on the phone, and she, I don't know, she forgot to stamp my passport. But I know I did everything. All she had to do was when she was giving me a hard time in my departure, if she had said, I made a mistake, acknowledge she was wrong. But she didn't do that.
Very, very strange. I mean, child, I can barely figure out our own procedures in Cayman, much less what's going on in Honduras. But it should be something that definitely your people should be concerned about.
But I'm going to write the head of customs or head of immigration and get everything straightened out. But I'm going to send you a picture of her that I brought back up on my phone, and Javier has her name, and I'm going to also send that people can be aware of what is going on at the airport. Anyways, Sunday,
thank you, my dear.
It was really rewarding, humbling experience, and humbling and spiritual experience to go there on a missionary trip. It makes me realize how blessed we are here in this island. see all the poverty and stuff.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
Okay, Sandy.
All right, honey. Thanks very much.
Bye.
Wow, what a hot mess. So a few people confirming that that yes, Honduras has immigration checkpoints for both arrival and departure. I would think they'd be happy for you to be leaving and could care less. They'd be like, bye. See you next time. Okay, what a hot mess. Thank you, Mr. Dexter. Maybe we'll hear a bit more about your missionary trip and stuff as well. I would love to hear. Leroy says they're probably scamming you. Who knows? I mean, listen, I can't speak to what's going on in Cayman sometimes, much as Honduras. Morning, caller.
Yeah, sorry to call back again, Sandy, but I wanted to just put a plug for Pat. I know that young man as Pache. I don't know him as anything else. But let me give you a little rundown with him. Him and I was competitors on the street with Jerk whenever carnival, anything, whatever it was. And, with our culture day, whatever. And let me tell you something. That young man, when he get his things set up, he would come over and he would help me and let me, before the night, he'll help me pack down my workers and him will had a real good relationship. If he needed something and I had it, he was there. Sometimes they would even put us next to each other, and we didn't have a problem with that because we were supporting each other. And even when I came back, I caught up with him and was telling me but I didn't get to visit him while I was home. But let me tell you, true spirit Caymanian, especially East End. A lovely young man. But let me just tell you quickly, you see that situation that he's in now? Sunday, the years gone back, that's what caused me to pack up. One of the reasons that caused me pack up. They harassed me. I had my license. I had DOE. My people were trained. And let me tell you, I remember, and let me tell you, corruption, it exists. I had a man, well, it was a couple of them that I was a partner, me little small, darling, not literally small, but you know what I mean, business small. We're out there hustling in the mornings, get up, go on the ship, get up, everything intact, walk with my license, walk with everything. And I tell you, this man, certain man that had a restaurant on the Port Royal, whatever they call it.
Royal Watler.
That man came, yes, that man came and persuade me to leave and come and work from his kitchen, only to cramp my style, shut me down. At that time, it was a certain politician in. So you talk about the was it DCI don't work fast. Let me tell you, I was there the Monday, the Tuesday, and when I look, I see DCI come through. I saw 3 guys that I recognized from immigration or DCI, whatever. He used to be immigration and he turned to DCI. And I saw them over there at the same place where I had moved into, because the man said, come on over here, whatever. You have a place, you can rent, whatever the case. I said, okay, I was happy, happy that I had a place that we didn't have to get wet when it rained and etc. Only to find out that man had called me in there, said that he had to close me down because I was stealing business, that I was doing too well. I was doing too well and taking away customers from the ship from him. Remember now? Anyway, I said, really? Say yes. And without any notice, it was a what you call Northwester. So of course we gotta move, whether it's at Spots or we gotta move whether it's in town. And we went to Spots. Went to Spots there for the ship. Again, I always was next to Mr. Seymour. We worked together. Mr. Seymour needs something, come get it, whatever. That's how we moved, and went back then the Thursday because the nor'wester was for over 2 days. Went back the Thursday only to or about to go back the Thursday. I did all our prepping, everything was ready, packed up to the van. Get a call from this man saying, "No, I'm sorry, you can't come back on the port." Okay, so why? Now that was his way of shutting me down. Anyway, but before that, like the week before, DCI Shamrock, I went somewhere to pick up orders or whatever. Can't remember exactly. And the workers called me, say, "Miss D, you need to come because DCI is over here and telling us to pack up and move right now." That was when we were on the corner by Tower Building. Pack up and move right now. I said, "But what are you talking about, pack up?" I said, "Okay, give me 10 minutes. I went there. I said, "What's going on?" The young man, they're very hostile. "You have to lock this place down now or we're going to shut you down." So what do? I pack up my stuff, took it home, and that was that, right? I start to complain to the government. I said, "What's going on here? I have license, my people all work permits, everything is intact. I have my hygiene stuff, my put on a little piece of my house, a big full of commercial um kitchen, full of commercial kitchen. When I tell you the best line of stove, ovens, freezers, you name it. And I had no choice. I called certain government people. I said, "Well, sir, I'm going to call government so and so, whoever in charge of DCI, whatever." He told me, he said, "Oh, you can call so and so because me and them is friends. We are best friends." Oh, okay. So who am I? So finally, I contacted Mr. Marco. Mr. Marco was his government then. He came out, he sat there, and he talked to me, and he said, "Darlene, I'm sorry about this, whatever." Anyway, very, very good. He said, I'm sorry about this. We're going to try work out something for you, to see. Because that was my only income. That didn't work out. Let me tell you something. Then people harass me. I had somebody come on the Cardinal Avenue and turn my tables over. Me and Brother John on the barbecue and turned our tables over and tell us to move. How could I put up with that? A disabled person struggling, trying to get my way. Never had to ask government for nothing, nothing but to see. Then a couple of months, maybe a month after, I got a call from Mr. Tibbetts, and he said, "Hey, I'm sorry that all of this has happened, but you've got two choices. You can go to farmers, what do you call it?
Farmers market.
Or if that's not suitable for you, how about craft market?" And that's how I end up craft market. And the struggle was too much for me. And I just said, you know what? After I was diagnosed with the chronic kidney failure, I said, "Listen, I can't live like this. Not in my own country. I cannot live. I went out to 89 kilos. A woman like me was loon, skin and bone, and black like a shoe. And I said, no, I got more of my life to live." So when people see me here, half don't know what I've been through, but I am grateful. And they can say what they like about United Kingdom. United Kingdom saved my life. I've been treated here better than I ever been treated in my whole life. And that's why they can knock whatever until the time that I see that they no longer welcome me here, or if it's too hard, I have a home to come back to. So all the best to Pache. I love him to pieces. He's a sweet young man. He has a heart of gold, a typical Easterner. And I just hope the whole island will reach out to these small business. Lavona is there. Give her support. Forget about these big old high tone. Sarah Sue is there doing. You imagine what it would be like if all of these small businesses get together. Stop thinking about you doing this better. To get together, unite, form your own little small restaurant business. Because to be honest with you, these are foods that nobody don't cook like Caymanians, especially in Cayman.
Yeah.
So make them sit down and talk foolishness. Anyway, Sandy, that's I went for the day.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks, my dear. Yeah, I mean some good points there for sure. And trust me, it's I hate to say that I could sit here and listen to Miss Darlene and not relate to her because of course, as a Caymanian business owner, same sort of struggles, same pick-a-sum, ridiculous mentality. I mean, and I've had multiple businesses, and the sad thing is, I've actually had this exact same experience with more than one business. So what are the chances? I don't know if it's just small town mentality or what's going on, but it's just shocking. It really, really is. As Miss Darlene was talking, I was thinking of my Cayman cash cards business that I was going to get off the ground. This was my SEMA were the ones who would license that because it was kind of taking money services to the next level where you could top up a card instead of having to go in person and do, collect your money and whatever. And you could give say, for example, Granny lived in Jamaica. You could give her, her little debit card. And then every month from your salary or whatever, you could automate even sending her little $100, $200 for the month, whatever the case may be. Right. And then that meant that she didn't have to go and stand up in Western Union or JN Money or wherever, which is in a lot of other countries, it's like a safety concern. It's a time waster. The money would automatically be topped up on her little card. Then she could go use her card at the ATM machine, vendors, whatever. Anyway, honey chill, I sat down, had my business plan, my KYC, my this, my that, blah, blah, blah. 2 big file folders later, dealing with those people over at SEMA, I literally just walked away from the business. They frustrated me to death with so many meetings and requests for this and requests for that and overcapitalization and yada, yada, yada. And oh, yes, the law says you only need this. But in your case, because you're just a small Caymanian and we don't know, we want you to double the capitalization that's required. I'm like, really? Y'all really know how to frustrate the hell out of people? Because during one of the meetings, it hit me when one of the SEMA people, I think he might have had a banking or compliance or something at the time. Well, how did you come up with this innovative idea? I mean, I just looked at him and I said, really? And that would be because you're asking me that question because a little Georgetowner like me isn't supposed to come up with an innovative idea. Is that what you're, why would you even ask that question? Oh, how did you come up with this? And I said to him, well, the truth of the matter is Cayman is about 10 years behind with this type of technology and this kind of way of thinking. So I'm not trying to say that I've created something completely new. It's just that I can keep on top of these things. And I know where the technology is going. And I watch the industries and, I saw business opportunity. They frustrated me and I walked away from it. This is what happens in this country, right? They will frustrate you to death. Same thing with the roque business, but I'll tell you what changed when I started CMR, because of course, same sort of thing. Oh, naysayers. Oh, we're not going to advertise with Sandy. We got to stick with the Compass, who's been around for 50 years. Not a Caymanian over there that gives one cahoots about y'all. And the ones that were there, like Miss Karen, Ryan, and so on, they were firing them and getting rid of them every turn, right? Keeping the expat workers. We're not going to have that conversation this morning, but that's the truth. Y'all were out there talking about, yeah, but that's who we're going to support. Even your politicians, that's who they wanted to support. But you know what? Leave them to time, honey child. All things in time, right? Because sometimes you just have to be committed to staying the course, and things are gonna just flush themselves out. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, my darling.
Morning, honey chill. How are you?
All right. I love the old Cayman.
Yes.
Times have changed. Most people know by my voice, I am an expat. I have been here half of my life. I am a part of a Caymanian family, married into a Caymanian family, and I absolutely love Cayman and the Cayman people. And I'm not just saying that. I truly mean it. And I am somewhat heartbroken, I guess you would say, disappointed in what's happening here with the Caymanian culture, Caymanians as a whole, Caymanian businesses. It is so easy to get a business license. They're too cheap. However, there's so many people on different social media platforms who don't have work permits, are selling stuff left and right and center. They will order online. They will bring it in. They will sell it online. There's people that say, oh, bought too small, still has tags, or make some ridiculous excuse. If anybody in their right mind would know, they're running the businesses off of social media platforms. Now, to me, enforcement, and I don't know what, if anything, can be done about it, but this has gotten my goat for years, is that how can these social media platforms continue having these social media platforms without asking, insisting, well, do you have a business license? Especially those that you know darn good and well are continually posting over and over and over again. I know there's people that pull monies together that are not Caymanian, that are on work permits, and they bring vehicles in and resell the vehicles and then split the what they make off of them. It's just, you know, I think it's just getting completely out of control. I think they need to really step up and speak up. That means government and government entities, and say enough is enough. These people work for the Caymanian people. We do not work for the Caymanian government. And until people really understand that and get it through their head that no, you don't have to tolerate this kind of behavior in Cayman any longer, that's when things are going to be shaken up and people are going to start waking up. I'm just sad. Like I said, I love the old Caymanians. I loved hearing Susie Soto's interview. I enjoy everything about the old, but I sure as heck ain't loving much about the new.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too. 936-2626. You know, it's a sad situation, but this is some of her growing pains. As I was also reminiscing and thinking about, again, how our own Caymanians, we don't have anybody else to blame for this. We can't blame expats. When I first got Roque going, I remember there was, I'm not gonna say what his first name is, but let me just say he's a Watler. So, you know, certain Watlers, they believe they're white Caymanians, and of course, you know, they should get everything. They should own all the land, the merchant class. Nobody else in Cayman should get an opportunity. So I remember I was in government building, the new government building, and I handed him a flyer, and I kind of explained it to him. You know, you're out there hustling, like a real hustle. You know, you're not out there selling drugs and stealing from people and cheating people. And he looked at it and he said, wow, again, how did you come up with this? And it wasn't so much the question that he asked me, it was how he said it. And it came with the overtones, the implication of, oh, you're a little black Georgetowner. How you come up with something like this that might make a few little dollars? And I just looked at him and I said, yeah, isn't technology amazing? And just walked away. You know, because these are the same people who have always wanted to hold each other down, hold Caymanians down. Oh, you don't deserve, you know, to have anything because you didn't come from the right family. You don't have the right family name, and your family members don't have connections, and you can't marry into these families because God knows sometimes they don't want to pick a blackhead ones in the family either. You know, it's just like, come on, like really? And so I must say that thank God for technology, because that has been a game changer for so many of us to be able to break out into industries and into businesses. You know, little small businesses like Jamian and his Real Sundays able to advertise on social media and get customers. And you have to see the customers. And you know what? I'm giving him a plug. Y'all go up there in droves on a Sunday. after he reopens, honey child. I'm gonna let y'all know. Go up there and support, right? Support small businesses, because I love to see nothing more than our people involved in a honest hustle. You know, if it ain't honest, I ain't supporting it. So people out here trying to sell drugs to our children and destroy lives, whatever, we're not supporting that kind of foolishness. People are cooking. They have honest business, and, you know, go and support those people. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Auntie. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Yep, it's fine. Monday
Yes.
morning.
Yes, sir.
Listening to you with this business license, I agree with that gentleman that just called, saying there's too much now where Tom, Dick, and Harry got one because they're too cheap. Do they require insurance and pension when you get these business license?
Well, if you have people employed, you're supposed to.
But so you yourself doesn't have to have one when you apply for this business license?
No, you're supposed to. If you have, if you're self-employed. Well,
are they requiring it when you go pay for that license? Then are they requiring that as part of the application process?
Yeah, they have a self-certification thing for. I'm trying to remember. I think the self-certification might be for pensions. I'm trying to remember exactly how it works. But yes, you're supposed to provide, evidence of all of those things to DCI.
Yeah, that's they got to try to get that. They got to try to get that government. Got to try to get that pension thing and that health insurance thing straightened out.
Well, we can see. And once again, it doesn't seem like even when people are running afoul of the law, it doesn't seem like DCI has the power to not issue them any more licenses. Even the court have said this is an area of concern.
Yeah, and I don't think for the $75 license, somebody tell me they never had to pay no pension. They never had to submit no pension or no health insurance for the $75 license. So that's a little scam. They should have kept it the way it was couple of years ago.
That don't have nothing to do with it. But again, DCI is one of those agencies that they never talks to people. So, I wouldn't be surprised if people are confused about what's required. But
but that's the law. But they should have kept it. They should have kept it like how it was a couple of years ago. If you got a company now, you pay at least $250. That's how it was couple of years ago.
Depending on the type of business.
Yeah, but definitely even now, even if it's a one man show, like years ago, if I was selling fish, I didn't need no license for that. If I sell fish from my yard, because that was like a right given to Caymanian poor people. I didn't need to get no license or anything because I could have sell fish. So now all them people at the fish market that selling fish, they got have a license. No, there's people that was exempted.
Well, like farmers, and I think people selling fish, they might have an exemption. I know farmers do for sure, who like at the farmers market have some sort of an exemption. I think they still have to apply for a license, but they're exempt from paying like any fees and that sort of thing. So there are some exemptions in the law. Particular to farmers and I think fishing.
They should have kept it like how it was. It's too much, and they shouldn't make people on that ain't nationals. They got look at this two people that ain't Cayman nationals to get a business license in certain areas. Like especially in the construction thing. Years ago, because I haven't had my license probably like 5 years now. I haven't renewed my license because I see all the pile of foolishness that going on. Yeah, but like to put in doors. Me as a simple carpenter, I didn't need no years ago. I didn't need no license. I could have go to somebody hire me for a day work. I could have go put in door, window, do whatever the person needed to do, and I didn't need no license. Now you're telling me now that I need to get a license, cheap as it is. You should need a license. I'm not gonna problem with paying your health insurance because that is important, and the pension. But then you come and tell me now you're gonna deny me a day's work or whatever little work that I do, because I do little side jobs and stuff. I build little little chairs and tables and all that kind of stuff, you know, to sell other woodwork stuff. And now years ago, I didn't need a license to do that, you know, because it wasn't a company. It was something for the small man that they were considering the small man to go do. But now they think by dropping the price now to $75, here at Tom, Dick, and Harry getting one now.
Well, here's the thing. You're not even. It's not that they've dropped the price. They've removed it for most licenses. All you're paying is the processing fee. So the $75 is just the application fee. They're actually waiving. Now, there are circumstances where you can pay the fee, you know. So you can say that you don't want to take advantage of it, and then the fee will show up online, I know for sure. But they're actually waiving the fee for the license, and they have been doing this for quite a number of years now, to be honest. Which on the one hand, it's a benefit, but on the other hand, it's made it so easy for everyone to get a license that you have people getting licenses who are actually taking advantage of the system.
And you're talking about the crooks. That's where the crooks coming from. Because you got people that got this little license and they go and build a house with big time contractors. There's no regulations saying that. Well, are you really a carpenter? Or do you bring reference to saying that you're a carpenter? Where your credentials saying that I'm not a carpenter, a contractor? You know, like our electrician or a plumber do. They got to go. They got to go and show the certificate of being a plumber or electrician through the government program or whatever licensing program they took, whatever course certification that they took to become an electrician and a plumber. For a contractor. No, anybody could just go pay $75 now, and you're gonna bill a $300,000 dollar home and crook people and all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of thing that they got to look into too. They shouldn't have no license given out just like that, especially for the construction people that, like, say, the contractors and stuff. You can pay a little $75 fee and want to build somebody's house that you don't know what you're doing, and then you start to crook people and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right then. We'll talk to you later.
All right, honey. I appreciate the call. 936 Bobo's the telephone number. Let's take a quick commercial break. We haven't gotten to any of the topics that I had planned, but you know what? You, the people, get to talk about what you want to talk about. So yeah, I totally agree. In terms of before we take a commercial break, in terms of Honduras and that query from Mr. Dexter, this person said that Cayman used to have departure. They said we used to have immigration at departures many years ago. That's how overstayers or people leaving that had cases pending in court were stopped. Interesting. They're not stopping no more. How they just be staying, I believe. This person says sometimes the authorities didn't take their passports or not both. I think part of the form visitors fill out on arrival have to be taken by the airline staff and given to immigration. I assume that's what's being done. But if not, how do they know who's leaving? So what a hot mess. But you know, lots of questions about the DCI situation. One person says, "Good morning. What a timely show. They did me the same thing. But about 15 years ago, I came out with a plan for localizing the health insurance industry that would have been a profitable business for a government and was nearly lynched because, wow. What a hot mess. I mean, competition around you from your own people just makes you shake your head." Marshall says, I saw a comment from Marshall. Oh, Cameron says you felt the fight too, Sandy. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Trust and believe. Marshall says, picky some. I haven't heard that word in forever. Every once in a while, when them old time phrases come to me, honey chill. But yeah, I mean, it's so sad. What are we going to do? I mean, on the one hand, you know, it's a lesson in perseverance and the fact that you can't give up. Even when it's your own people trying to fight you down, you just have to stick with it. And I suppose, you know, I always say this, you're right where you're supposed to be. So maybe there's other business endeavors were not in the end meant for me. Yeah. You know, I say that to you say that to be able to put your head down at night and not stress too much. about how you really want to take your big boots and kick somebody in the rear end because they're constantly trying to get in your way. But I think when you're passionate about something, you don't let anybody get in your way. And this is a takeaway here, right? So when I started CMR, I think my passion for what I was doing was different than the other businesses. Like they were just a business. I've always said CMR, my apologies, Mall Road has always been a passion, not a paycheck. So, I was getting all kind of fight left, right, center. Even my own husband's like, what are you doing this for? What is this? And I'm like, what do you mean? This is about community. This is about bringing news to people. And he's like, and I was like, don't step in my way, honey, chill. Because, when somebody passionate about something, you start to get in their way, you might just get the boot. So I think that when you're really passionate about something, you will fight for it. So Jimian, we got you, honey child. You get the licensing sorted out. Yes, people do like to come and sit. I don't normally stay there. I normally take my food and come back home. I can kick up feet on my own sofa. But I do understand his point that people enjoy having the little seats there. He's got like little birds and stuff that you can, look at and whatever. And people like just getting out, seeing something different. We have people who are saying, Jimian, that they're going to be not only coming to see you for Rose Sundays once you reopen, but they might actually book you out for some of their department events later in the year as well. Look at that, honey child. The more they try to hold you down, the more you're going to be rising above. Strong will, says Sandy, your own bite you the worst. Yeah, not what they say, but them fleas. Good morning, Miss Aline. Says, I understand that passion. Cameron says, you've really come a long way, Sandy. Imagine that. What a hot mess. Big shout out to one of our passionate listeners, Miss Ann Rice, who is in Tampa. Big shout out to her. She was, these little things that they have on social media where you circle around. Like, how did you meet someone? Don't ever ask me how I met you because the chances of me remembering are slim to none. I don't remember how I met anybody, really. Few people. I remember how I met Mary. Mary, I see you. People like that, like I remember that because I don't know why I remember that. But most people, I have no clue how we met. People are like, oh, I remember him. And I'm like, really? My memory is really not that good with that sort of stuff. Ms. Ann was reminding me, she said, I think our first time was when you were campaigning. Now, this is a long time ago. And I've been your follower ever since. I said, really? I said, honey child, I don't even remember that. And she said her husband, who has since passed away, he said to her, he said that she said, and you should know that you also impressed Mark on that visit. He said, Mr. Urick got a smart daughter. I say, yes, sir. What a mess. Bottom towners. So it is what it is, folks. People, I figure, in life will always try to hold you down. You just got to stay the course and just keep fighting. Like I said, if you love it and if you're passionate about it, whether it's cooking food, whether it's bringing people the news, whatever, just stay the course. And yeah. All right, Miss Sonia, good morning. Miss Sonia says, when things don't go well for some people, they find ways to attack everything and everyone. That's one of the reasons Cayman will get rough and rougher. Stay in the saddle and fight God and fight. God is for everyone. It will get better. Patience. Oh yes, more people trying to hold you down. Hold on to your ambition. You just keep rising. And that's the thing, right? I love to see somebody with ambition and somebody like hustling. Leroy says he remembers how he met me. He met me through Roque. Yeah, nice. And I remember you from the gas station too, Leroy. Morning caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, madam. How are you today?
Not bad. Who's holding you down, honey chill?
I guess a bit is there's so much to talk about. I guess I don't really know where to start.
Oh Lord. One of those days.
Yeah, but I don't like to preach doom and gloom, but I like to be conscious of reality.
Yes.
So this is a reality check. We have so much going on in our little island that so many people, could be most of the people, do not even stop
for a minute to smell the roses.
Yes.
We always on this fast track going where I'm really, really baffled. Let's deal with the environment. If something is not done shortly to stop all of this development, construction, right, left, and center, you're going to see a lot of really ill, sick people in this island, mentally and physically. They're destroying all our vegetation. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All you can see is concrete going up right, left, and center. Carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide, there's a change between your plants and you, what you breathe out, they breathe in, what you breathe in, they breathe out. The pollution into this atmosphere in this little island, it is astonishing. Nobody really, in my opinion, which I'm entitled to, has ever checked and see the amount of pollution that's circulating into this little island. And then we're talking about, boy, it's a hot day. Certainly is a hot. Try to go on a week, you had 113 degrees Fahrenheit in the Cayman Islands. If you want to check something that I have on record, and I read that article in 1999, it stated the average temperature in the Cayman Islands in 1957 was 58, 59 degrees. And then again in 1975 to 76, it was 84, 85 degrees. That was in 99. I read that.
But caller, might I ask you a question? I mean, I appreciate what it is that you're saying, but you do know that global temperatures, so this is beyond anything just specific to the Cayman Islands. You know, they're saying that we're going through a heat, not even a heat wave, but, you know, the surface temperature of the entire Earth has changed. So whilst I agree that Cayman, undoubtedly, even as small as we are, might have a small role to play in this, there will be bigger things that are brought on by the big countries, China and India, that will continue to deteriorate the quality of life here on Earth that we will have zero control over.
Hang on 1 second. I understand and I'm digesting exactly what you're saying. However, when you listen to scientists talking about your reefs are dying, why your reefs are dying? Because the water going out from your coastline, whether it's coral or whether it's beach, it's going out, the temperatures are rising and going out to your corals and killing them. I'm saying this. If we had people into this island, like you got in, let's say, simplest Coral Gables, if you cut down one shade tree, you might have to put back two. And for your record, the average shade tree is equal to a 3.5 ton air condition. If you put that out in the sun, you'll get no more results from that than you would get from a good shade tree. We need to be planting trees, not knocking them down. All I see in this island is everybody is overwhelming the greed of money while the island is going to hell. Say what you like about United Kingdom, but whether you're Mr. Who, you could be a multi-billionaire. It is certain places in England, you had not even better mention the word, but you come in there with your billions and you're going to tear up this, they will run you the country. And this is what happened. We have lost our way, my friend, that we are just accepting money. That's the glory in this island, money. Of course, we all need money, but how much is enough? You know, I am so disgusted with what's going on in this little 2x4 island. And I don't mean to be negative, but it's a reality. Look how much people are getting sick with cancer and all different kind of diseases, right? Because of all of this pollution they're doing, and you don't have time to even take a little day off or time off. No, you're always on the fast track. Before Superman was made in the United States, now he's reached Cayman. All right? So that's my little
Thank you.
piece today.
I appreciate it.
I hope, yeah, thank you so much. Thank
Okay,
you.
my dear. Thank you too. All right, we do have two other callers on the line. We have caller number, oh gosh, hello? I think the other one hung up. I'm not sure. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, morning caller.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm good. The caller that was on just now, he has some good points. But my question is, how are these developers building these places if the Caymanians are not selling the land?
Well,
the Caymanians have to sell the land for the developers to build, if you see what I'm coming from. Or it's crown land and government is selling it. So those are two questions. A foreigner cannot come here and build something if you don't sell him something. Okay?
That's for sure. Yes, honey chow. We had one other caller in the line. 926. Give us a call back. All right, 936 Bobo is the telephone number. I think it's really all about balance, right? I mean, honestly, there will be things that we have no control over in this jurisdiction for sure. I mean, the billions of people between India and China that are wreaking havoc on the environment, destroying the rainforest in Brazil. You know, all of these things have a direct impact on all of us. Right now, they're talking about the winter heat wave in the Andes is a sign of things to come. Scientists are worried about that. And that's in the mountains of South America. You know, Korea, did y'all see this? They have Boy Scouts there. They have their annual, I guess, Boy Scouts camp. Thousands at camp have to move into hotels after South Korea has a heat wave. And that's more than 40,000 young people from all over the world attending their little, boy and girl scouts camp. The UK alone sent a group of 4,500. What a mess. Morning caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, is that me now, Sandy?
Yes, ma'am. Hello there.
I will try and get you before I get into work. I'm actually pulling up now.
Okay. Hi there.
I just wanted to, how you doing? I just wanted to touch on Jimmy's understanding frustration, but I'll just say to him what people keep saying to me is don't give up. Reason is I'm saying that I don't think the public really knows that right now it's my daughter, my eldest daughter, who was always working in the restaurant. It's actually her that have taken over the restaurant. I didn't make it public because I know some people funny. They'll say, oh, well, I want to not do it no more. And because I must say, that restaurant opened. I keep telling people and I still am to this day, August 7th, 2023, I'm still amazed by the support that we continue to have and continue to get from my local Caymanian people. When I tell you it's not 100%, it's about 98%. You might have that one or two that walk in or come in well, I'm not excluding the tourists. I'm saying we still because I'm still there behind the scenes. But I personally gave up after the prices became so outrageous. I told her, I said, I'm not opening back for this year. And she said, no, Mama, do not. She said she refuses, and she still don't want to give up. And I keep telling her, let's just close. It's struggling. I mean, Sandy, you might see it and hear it. Sometimes we sell out. But at the end of the week, you still can't see the money because the things have risen, like I said, have gone up so high. I mean, right now, sugar. I told her, I said this last week, I said, maybe you probably have to stop selling your mixed drinks like the lemonade, and we started doing tamarind and so that we put sugar in. I put sugar in barbecue. Couple other things that I put sugar in that we need to have sugar in, and sugar is now from $13.99 to $31. That's one example. I just saying that's something you can't get. You don't get a you can't get a markup on or say, okay, well, this is a meat. You could put $1 on to the plate of the food. Potatoes, for example, used to be $22, $23 a case. Now you're paying $50, $49.95 all in price for potato. That's a side dish. I just saying, just showing out some of the things out there. Oil used to be $24.75 to be exact. Now oil is $50. It went up as high as $59 at one point. Just showing that out there to say that the prices have changed tremendously compared to what it was before. And then obviously you have staff to pay. You know, I'm fortunate. I said it to you personally. If I was not where I am in my yard, although it's a separate building off from the house, but it's all one light bill. I would have, if I had to pay rent, pay light bill separate, pay water bill separate, pay all these things, I would never in a million years been still open today. I only got discouraged just because the stuff, I mean, I used to go to the shops and to the wholesaler, just order all of my stuff, not even question the price. Try that today. You can't do that. Well, if you got something last week for $30, you better ask what the price is this week, because every time you go, the price is not the same. It just keeps going up. So going back to my daughter, this is where I can't do this no more. I am tired. I just working I don't even have to do it. That's another thing. I only did it because it's something I love to do. I got my full-time job at Kim and Avery is now 21 years, thank the Lord, and I still love my job. I'm sitting in my car now with my anniversary shirt on, going in to go into work. I'm happy to have my job, and I'm glad I did not just stop working like a fool, like, you know, and just say, oh, I go and run a no, you cannot do that. I don't recommend anybody in Cayman to do that unless they have substantial money put down somewhere that they could say, okay, I could afford to do this. But no, I did not do that. I cook before I come into work. I go home in the evening. I go in the kitchen to prep or put on something, something for the night before. People say they don't know how I do it, but I do it. I just got used to doing it. And I'm saying this to say, I don't personally have the restaurant anymore, but because I handed it to my daughter. But she always was there, so nothing looks like it changed because nothing really hasn't changed. I just personally pull back financially, the financial part of it, I pull back on. But I'm still there by her hand and foot. I still do every single thing I was doing before. I just trying to, you know, and I keep getting discouraged sometimes still, and she said, no, Mama, I'm not giving up. And she refused. Trust me, she is a female. She said, I am not, Mama. She's very spiritual. She believes in energy that you know, that she don't like she's into the we call it bad. She could tell when somebody come around with bad energy and stuff like that. So she's that type of person, and yeah, and the customers love her. Anyway, I'm just saying, I went to visit that young man, Jimian, because I kept hearing, I think I've actually heard you. This one person's talking about the count. One day, my son, Sunday, my husband came home earlier for change, and I said, well, let's go check out this guy. And he said, okay, let's go. We went up there. I loved it. You know why I loved it? Because it was, you could see obviously he's building his home, which is awesome. And I even said to my husband, I said, I'm pretty sure he's probably doing this now too to help build his home, because it don't look like it was something that's in a rush. I'm pretty sure he's trying not to. I'm assuming this. Then maybe he's not, want to get it up to his neck in the bike either. I'm just saying, but it was so refreshing. Graham came. I called Graham for the directions. Graham said, you're going up? I said, yeah, trying to go. And he said, all right, come in. And Graham came. And, that made it even better. He got a little joke here and there. I had this lemonade. The lemonade tasted a little different. I'm like, what is this and this? And it was mint. It had mint in the lemonade. And that was so, like, unusual to me. And it was really nice. I had, like, two of them. I think my husband had two. It was really, really nice. It was a nice, like he said, to sit down, because I'm in the kitchen all the time. Morning and night, and it was so refreshing for me to sit down and get something from somebody and my own local man. I felt so good, and his little girl was coming around, and I heard him saying to another table, no, she needs to learn because this is for her. And I was like, yeah. And I looked at my husband, I said, you hear that? And I felt so at home. And it was really nice to just drive out of town for, and go up east. And it was really nice. I must say that. And I didn't even notice what's happening with him. But I hope that everything do work out. And whenever he do open, I'll go back up. We'll all go back up and support him. And that's what we need. Caymanians are not supporting our own. They would come and say, oh, $15 for a plate of turtle or whatever, and complain about the local man. But yet, go on West Bay Road, that it's not our local people cooking the same turtle meat. Let's say, for example, and pay all $25 turtle. Just saying the difference of how our people are. But again, going back to being grateful and thankful for the 98% Caymanians that do support Lavona's Kitchen and saying that and supporting my daughter. And a lot of persons always commenting on her customer service, etc. and stuff. But just saying that, I try to support as local as I can. Whenever Sarah Sue come down here, she come and she support us. When she was here in Cayman, I supported her. If I see someone at their local and they say, I selling this or I selling that, even if it's something that I don't use or I don't have a use for, I still try and buy it or do something just to show support.
Yes.
It's the support that we have, like that we're not getting. Like I said, a small local, and then on top of that, you're getting that fight. Yeah, it's not. But yeah, I can't say I got a fight. I thank the Lord. I really haven't had that. Didn't get to that part, and thank the Lord again. Like I said, we just need to support each other. And Jimmy, if you're listening, I'll just say to you, I mean, I kind of gave up, it only because of the prices, but it wasn't because of customers and stuff like that. But like I said, I'm still there. I am there. If you look on my Friday menu, I sometimes I pull back and I say, how did I do all this before I go to work? Before I go to work, I cook turtle, conch, lobster, I got crab, I cook crab, I do potato salad, macaroni and cheese, or cornbread. And I just get to mix in tamarind juice, or soursop juice. I just saying it just sometimes that I look back, I said, these are half of my menu. I did this, and I go on straight to Cayman Airways, and I go and do my full-time job, come back home in the kitchen again to do something else. So it's just rewarding to me. Sometimes I feel tired at work, and the minute I get home, I bright eye and bushy tail. But person said to me, that's because that's your passion. Anyway, I'm at work. I was trying to run inside. So you guys
all right, my dear. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, love. Okay, 936 Bobo's his helpful number. Let's take a quick commercial break. Some very, very valid points there. Those who feel it know it. Trust me. What a hot mess. All right, folks. Be right back after these messages.
For 55 years, Cayman Airways has been serving as the national flag carrier of the Cayman Islands. This honor is the core of our identity, our purpose. And when we say those who fly us love us, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. So we're celebrating this milestone anniversary with you, our treasured community, with airfares on sale for travel to all of our fall destinations. But hurry, this airfare sale ends August 12th. Call 949-2311 or book online at CaymanAirways.com. Celebrating 55 years as your national flag carrier.
Hello, Cayman. If you have been chosen for the STEPS National Health Survey, thank you so much. But we still need your help. 1,000 more people need to participate in Step 3, the final step of the survey, to ensure that our data reflects the whole population of Cayman. We cannot do this without you. Help us shape Cayman's healthcare services. Say yes to Step 3. For more information, contact the STEPS team on 936-4969 or email mhwsteps@gov.ky.
For 20 years, we've committed to helping the people of the Cayman Islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. But healthcare and the expectations of patients are rapidly evolving, and so must we. We have made incredible clinical and technological advancements and achieved JCI Accreditation, the internationally recognized gold seal of approval for patient safety and quality of care. So it's time for our image to reflect our transformation from a local hospital to a world-class healthcare authority, with a new logo that symbolizes national duty and pride, a statement that reinforces our commitment to our patients every step of the way, with colors as bold as our mission to provide the highest quality healthcare. Dynamic, professional, skilled, committed, caring. This is HSA.
Now, y'all love Popeyes for my fried chicken, but the real ones also love my salty, flaky, covered in butter biscuits. Well, biscuit fans, have I got a treat for you. Introducing new, irresistible strawberry biscuits at Popeyes. The perfect balance of salty and sweet thanks to decadent strawberry bits baked right in and mouth-watering creamy icing on top. The perfect dessert for just $2.29. Or grab 6 pieces for $12.59.
Strawberry biscuits forever.
Not forever, I'm afraid, honey. Limited time only, and only at Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen on Eastern Avenue.
Ocean Ridge Heights offers an amazing opportunity to own a piece of land in idyllic Cayman Brac, right on the bluff, starting from $80,000. Located in a quiet residential area with high elevation, these lots are ideal for a future home or investment property and are sure to go fast. Cayman Brac offers a laid-back lifestyle, amazing pristine diving, limestone caves, diverse flora, along with amazing wildlife. Inquire about the owner financing options so that you can secure your piece of paradise today. With only a few lots remaining, these are sure to go before you know it. Contact Crichton Properties today on 345-949-5250 or info@crichtonproperties.com.
Recover Personal Injury Attorneys, helping injured people get what they deserve. Did you know that insurance companies have lawyers that represent their interests? Before signing and accepting any settlement, know your rights. Call us today for a free consultation at 924-9999. That's 924-9999. Recover. Your personal injury attorneys are on standby to assist.
All right, folks, welcome back to the program. Couple things I want to go through. We do have a pre-recorded interview that we're going to play from the folks over at the Health Services Authority, getting to know a little bit about their JCI accreditation and what all of that means. Couple things that are noteworthy this morning that I want to bring up. Number one, there was a report over the weekend, quite a serious report actually, about a man who is going on the public buses and sexually assaulting women. Lord Jesus. Let me find the number. One of his victims actually came forward and they want to call on the show. Let me just see if I can find their number here. Oh, good grief. Where's that message? Yes. Oh, yes, here it is. I want to actually call Alejandro. I see you, but I'm going to decline the call because we're a little bit pinched for time right now. So I am going to decline this call. Sorry, Alejandro. I think we spoke to you once already today, so you shouldn't feel too bad. But I want to get this victim on the phone because y'all need to hear what this man is doing to people on a public bus. This is when y'all need to travel with a cow card and beat the the daylights out of this man. Trust me, sexually assaulting women in broad daylight, I know one thing. I wish it would. I need to ride a public bus. And I can take one baseball on there and one paddle ball and say I'm going to play pickleball and I got to beat him upside his head. Hold on one second, folks. Disgusting. I tell you, boy. Oh, my God.
Hello?
Good morning, caller. We got you live on the radio. We're getting to this topic now of this disgusting man.
So I have to be quick.
Yes, tell
I have
us.
to go serve coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So this particular person is of Indian descent. He always, or at least the 2 encounters I had with him, he took the bus at Macross in Prospect.
Mm-hmm.
So when he enters the bus, he looks for a seat where a female is sitting by herself, no matter how many other seats are available. And he would sit beside you, pretend to be holding on to the seat in front of you, and then he would have his elbow rubbing on your skin or on your breast. Now, my first encounter, I didn't even realize that's what he was doing until a lady at the end, because we were sitting on the back seat.
Now, you're not the same one who called me on Friday saying about how he fell asleep against you.
No,
that was another woman. Lord Jesus, the man
That
got a
was
couple
me.
victims out there then. Jesus.
And this, she was actually Caymanian too. I had to thank her because I didn't even realize what he was doing until she like pointed out to me what he was doing. Now, the second encounter I had with him, he came on the bus. It was like literally empty. And he came and he sat beside me and he hugged his backpack and then he had his hand like, touching me. So when the bus stopped for another passenger, I got up from beside him.
Nasty. Wow. And he doesn't say anything to you. He just starts touching you.
He doesn't say anything. He just comes, sits beside you, and once he has the opportunity, he just starts doing whatever.
No, sir. Next time you see him, can you take a picture for us?
Well, thank God I bought a little car, so I don't have to take the bus, so I don't think I'll run into him.
Oh my God. Somebody needs to take his picture. Ladies, thank you so much, Carla. We really appreciate you sharing your story.
Bye.
All
right, bye.
Yes, bye-bye. I actually got a call on Friday as well about the same guy. This caller had an experience with him where he was inappropriately touching her. And apparently what he did in that case, I'm just trying to see if I can find when she called me on Friday. What he did in that case is he actually was leaning up against her, pretending to be asleep. You can imagine. Hold on here now. Let me see if I can find when she called me. Anyway, he was pretending to be asleep. I thought, how disgusting. Oh my God. When did she call me on Friday? I'm trying to see if I can find this lady's number. Anyway, yes, he was pretending to be asleep. Let me see if this is it. I'm not sure. Let me message her. So more than one person has reached out about him. So he pretends to be asleep and then kind of like falls over on you. And starts touching you inappropriately. I think he might have been trying to like touch on her breasts and stuff like that. Ladies, let me tell you something now. Listen to me very, very carefully. Okay. The police are asking eyewitnesses to come forward. Everybody says he's Indian. I don't know if that means he's Indian, if he's Jamaican Indian, if he's Trinidad Indian, if he's Guyanese Indian, if he's a Caymanian Indian. I don't know which Indian he might be. But any man that goes out of his way to sit next to you on the bus when you're sitting by yourself and gets a little bit too close in your comfort zone, listen, we don't have a government that is willing to give us pepper spray or anything to really protect us. You can find other things. Keep your keys in your hand and you poke him one time in his friggin' eye. I bet you he'll stop then. Okay? Carry bug spray if you have to. We're always talking about these mosquitoes biting you up. Carry some mosquito spray. And if he touches you, you spray him. And then you tell him to please call the police because this man has just assaulted you and you were trying to defend yourself. Caller, good morning.
Yes, ma'am, morning. I got to put my input on this for riding the bus. I am a bus rider, but I do not get in any seat that has another person.
But you see what he's doing? You're sitting down first and he gets on, he comes and sits next to you. It's not the women trying to sit next to him.
Yeah, but that's why I don't get in no seat because I didn't know this was going on, but I don't like to get in any seat that another person in any way because some of those people, this is my output on it. Some of those people that get on that bus be workers and then some of them are nasty and they stink. And when anybody touch against me that are dirty, I get itch. So I try to get in a seat by myself. And if the bus is loaded and there's no seat that only me in, that's why I don't like the idea of they used to, when the bus get full, they putting these boards crossed, because then you still get somebody hitting against you on somewhere I'm coming from. And that's why I don't normally like the idea about that. So I was glad when they stopped that. And if I do get in a seat that I try to get in the front seat by the driver, but then sometimes those buses have like for 3 people. I don't get in one of them neither. It's just the driver and me. He can't touch You understand? Against me. But I also has alcohol at all times, because like I tell them, COVID now had to come for me to carry little bottles of alcohol. I would spray that in there. I just stay in that's what it. And I also have a little pocket knife that is legal to be carried, because one time police had when I went to listen to Carl, whatever she named from West Bay, that case with her when she was running up in Cork House, same place that they put my bag through. The guy say, "You have a knife." It's a little Swiss arm. I had to find out when I used to work at the airport. And I said, "But sir, that's legal. That's only 2 inches, and that's legal by the law. As far as I know, that type of knife is legal. And if I get in situations that I think that I always take that out, open that, and hold that in my hand. But I for one, don't want nobody touching against me, because I itches, and like I said, if they're dirty and they're nasty and stinking, and some of them people be really stink, so I don't want them touching against me. So
Thank you, my dear.
I try to get in a seat that only me, one sitting in it, nobody touching against me.
I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
So one person.
All kind of nasty people wrong.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. So Garrett says, here's another good reason to avoid taking public transportation. Isn't that unfortunate? You might be calling the wrong number. Hello. You trying to get on the show? Oh, what's going on? Well, I'm on air, but I have you up to my ear. What's happening? Say that again. They brought in who? All right, folks, my apologies. Getting some breaking sauce. Y'all know how it is, honey chill. I got to be answering that hotline over there. So I'll keep an eye on that situation. I can't tell you what that is yet. Hold on. Keep an eye. All right, folks. So listen. Good morning. Yes. Kimberlyn says he's Indian, short and dark skin with a beard. No, Damien, you can if you can defend yourself now. There's no reason why any man should be trying to touch you, man or woman for that matter, because some of y'all women like to get into stuff too. But you have a right to your personal space. Some of these people are just absolutely disgusting. All right, I wanted to talk about this issue this morning, but I can see I'm a little bit tight on time. So I'm going to put that off till tomorrow about compensation for victims. That we'll come back to that conversation another day. Let me just see here now. I'm going to tell you all something else. What a mess. That sounds like some breaking news I need to get on top of. All right, good people. Listen, we've got an interview by Health Services Authority. What time is it now? 10:04. I think this is about 23 minutes or so. Some conversations I don't want to start because then if I don't have enough time to discuss it, it doesn't do the conversation justice. So I definitely want to have that discourse tomorrow as it relates to compensation for victims. I think it's something our legislators need to really seriously think about how to do. I understand the court's position, but I'm going to tell you why on tomorrow's program I do not agree with the court's position. I think there's another way to look at it. Hot mess. All right, just checking, see if we have anything else. Oh, good news for seniors. This will be breaking a little bit later on. But government increases stipends for older persons, seafarers, and veterans. So the ex gratia payment for seafarers and veterans will now receive $1,250 per month, which is an increase of $300. There'll also be a one-time back payment of $300 for the month of July to assist with the summer utility increases. Thank you, PAC government. We appreciate it. So older persons and adults living with permanent disabilities who receive financial assistance from the government will see their monthly stipends from the Needs Assessment Unit increase by more than 30% immediately. So recipients of long-term financial assistance will also be seeing an increase. Persons living with permanent disabilities and older persons account for approximately 2/3 of NAU's clientele. Wow, that's a lot. This group is more likely to need longer periods of financial support, and so now they're going to get a little bit of an increase there. Bless their little hearts. That's good. All right. So, good folks. What a hot mess. Let's go ahead and listen to the HSA. So the HSA has been going through quite a historic change, to be honest. You know, it's a good thing for the people of the Cayman Islands, that all of our facilities, including the HSA, you know, is getting things like, you know, world recognized accreditation. That's the only listen, that's a win-win for everybody, including the customers for sure. Yeah, El Ray says, boy, she keeping it stink. Say something, them people be really stink. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I totally understand. If you have to take the bus, you're having to compromise with things in public transportation in more ways than one. But yes, Natasha says, no, if this man has touched or invaded your space, you can defend yourself. Absolutely. And I think that women, let me say this before we play the video. Women, you've got to be prepared to defend yourself. Oh my God. Tomorrow we're going to talk about femicide in the Caribbean. There's a recent case happening in Jamaica right now, just yesterday, a murder-suicide, horrific situation. And all I can say, and I'm going to say it again tomorrow, is if you find yourself in an abusive relationship or situation, get out immediately. Otherwise, this is how it can end. All right, folks, back to the HSA. Big shout out to the HSA. Here we go. Thank you, HSA.
For 20 years, we've committed to helping the people of the Cayman Islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. But healthcare and the expectations of patients are rapidly evolving, and so must we. We have made incredible clinical and technological advancements and achieved JCI Accreditation, the internationally recognized gold seal of approval for patient safety and quality of care. So it's time for our image to reflect our transformation from a local hospital to a world-class healthcare authority, with a new logo that symbolizes national duty and pride, a statement that reinforces our commitment to our patients every step of the way, with colors as bold as our mission to provide the highest quality healthcare. Dynamic, professional, skilled, committed, caring. This is HSA.
So we're being joined this afternoon with Ms. Raquel Sutherland here at the Health Services Authority. Lots of exciting things, Raquel, have been going on here that you're going to obviously share with us. And I think one of the biggest announcements that we've heard coming out of the HSA in quite some time is the fact that the HSA has now obtained this Joint Commission International Accreditation standard. Right. And I know the average person on the street is kind of like, this sounds exciting, but what on earth does it mean? Yeah. So we're going to try to break it down for everyone. First of all, tell us, what is JCI?
All right, so Joint Commission International is an accrediting body that is focused on healthcare and healthcare organizations. And in lay terms, what they do is they set a set of standards that they use as a benchmark to ensure that organizations have safe, quality standards of practice within the organization. So what that means is they will create a benchmark to be measured against, and certain, I guess, targets that an organization would want to ensure that they're meeting and implement within their organization to ensure that they are focused on patient safety. And so for us, having the gold seal essentially means that they've set a series of standards, and there's over 1,000 of them, and we as an organization have met the basic requirement according to what they've set out as a standards for international healthcare organizations. And so meeting that is a big deal because it is not an easy feat.
Yes.
But what it means is that we've taken those extra measures to ensure that when persons come to HSA, they can assure that it's going to be quality service. They can ensure that we have safe practices in place, and they know that we are being held accountable by this overarching body to maintain that.
Yes. And this is a pretty big deal because I think on this island, you know, to have it really puts you in sort of la creme de creme, if you will.
Absolutely.
Of
Absolutely.
institutions, right?
Yeah. And it's great. It's almost like if you're going to compare it to hotels, it's like your 5-star rating, right? And everyone wants to have this thing that you're striving towards. But besides just being rated, I think for us, we took a step back and we thought, hey, if we are going to be offering healthcare, it needs to be the highest quality of that, right? And so we went back and we said to ourselves, you know, what is the thing that we need to do to ensure not that we are saying that we're offering high quality healthcare, but what is the thing that we can be measured against so when others look at us, they can say the same. And so JCI being the front runner in accrediting bodies, because they're not the only one, we've decided to go in that direction because it helps our service users, our patients, our family, our own families, because we access healthcare here as well, our colleagues, our friends, to know that we are ensuring that we're looking at best practice at all times.
We're going to get into the details a little bit here in terms of what the HSA had to go through in order to get to this point, because I know that it's been quite a long journey, but you know, JCI is the industry leading international accreditation body with over 1,000 accredited and certified organizations around the world. So how do you feel knowing that the HSA has finally attained this?
Oh man, it's an amazing feeling. I think one of the things that we, as we were going through our journey, really felt a sense of pride around was the camaraderie among our team. Everyone, it's not something that leadership is saying that you have to do or that you had to do. Everyone decided, hey, I'm a part of HSA and this is what I need to do. The entire team came together. They took ownership of this and they wear it with pride, right? So this gold star seal of approval now, everyone is wearing it with pride, saying, hey, I contributed to this organization being accredited. I am a part of the HSA team and I am accredited. And wearing that with a sense of pride, I think, means a lot to us as an organization, because it helps us to know that not only have we achieved it, that we'll now be able to maintain it because we have that buy-in.
Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So when we're talking about now this JCI International World Class Accreditation Gold Seal of Approval, what does that actually mean in real terms for the average person to understand?
Yeah. So with the standards, it's broken down into sections so we can focus on very specific things. Medication management being one of those things is one of the core ones that we had even identified as our internal goal that we wanted to pay special attention to. Right? So the process with which we gather your information, fill your prescriptions, get that out to you, whether you're inpatient, outpatient, the process and the standards that are set up sets goals, targets, parameters, and processes for us to follow to ensure that that is a safe process. Because if you look at worldwide statistics, medication errors accounts for a lot of the issues that exist in healthcare. And so we identified it as one of our core focuses as we were going through this process. So we had created internally what we called a SIM, that was our focus, and we talked about safe quality care, infection control, and medication management, among the other standards that we were working on, but really identifying within our context, that is something that we didn't want any of our patients or service users to have a negative experience around. right? When we talk about infection control, I mean, it's a hospital. And so even with the best practices, there's going to be a lot of stigma associated with people thinking, well, is this hospital clean? Is it not? How do we prove that to you? When you come in and you see your bed made, well, how do you know that it was freshly made? When you come in and you see your restroom clean, how do you know it was freshly cleaned? And so going through and making sure that we are setting benchmarks and targets that can be measured against. When we go back as, you know, quality officers and managers, how do we know that the job was done? All of those markers are things that we are now including as part of our processes that we can actually genuinely measure against. Tracking and monitoring of processes, all of these types of things helps us to ensure that quality that we're very heavily focused in as part of this process. So what does the gold seal mean? It means that we are now implementing practices, strategies, processes on a daily basis that are specific to ensuring that you are going to, as the end user, be assured or reassured that we've done our due diligence, that we have benchmarks that we're measuring ourselves against, that we are doing things, processes, strategies that ensure that the end result, that the experience that you have as the end user is always going to be in your best interest.
So when I walked up today here at the HSA, things looked different.
Yeah.
Physically, things looked
Absolutely.
different. So tell us, what is that also part of, you know, the entire accreditation process, giving the HSA a completely new and fresh look?
Yeah.
You've got a new logo. It seems like a lot of exciting things are actually happening all at the same time.
I think it's a very exciting time for the HSA because, of course, historically people will know us, Georgetown Hospital, and we're almost even going back to that because we want people to connect with us the way that they experience us, right? And so Health Services Authority came about 20 years ago, and that was our rebranding at that time. But the reality is, our patients who are near and dear to us, who are committed to us, who come back to us, they know us as Georgetown Hospital, right? And so we want to make sure that we are setting an image that people connect with. We want you to know that we might have a different look, but it's the same great service, and that we're improving on that service as time goes by. So besides our anniversary, we are also going through a rebranding process. What does that mean? If we are going through the process of changing our standards, making sure that we're aligning ourselves with accreditation, we want you to understand that that change is going to be all-encompassing within the organization. So we're changing our look. We're changing our logo. We changed our catchphrase, which is still encompassing our core values. It's talking about our commitment to caring for you, right? And so in changing that, we are now saying, sure, the rebranding is responsible for the changes in the colors, but JCI isn't responsible for the changing in the processes. So all of our changes are all focused on the way forward. What is it that we need to do next? Because healthcare is evolving, research is evolving, ways of offering care is evolving. And so we want our patients to know, hey, we know that these things need to change. And so we're evolving too. We're evolving to ensure that we are always best practice, always looking for what does the research say, always looking for what is the best next step in healthcare. We're doing that through the staff that we hire, right? Looking for the best clinicians to ensure that you can get the best care. We're doing that through expansions, looking at where else can we expand our services in the district so that you don't always just have to come to this main hub. What are we doing so that you can get into your clinics faster? What are we doing so that you can get your medication out the pharmacy faster? All of these processes. And then in doing that, some of our next steps, now that we've gotten the quality part, we want to focus on our customer service. So we have now internally started an initiative where we're saying is, what are our patients experiencing when they get here? And how can we make that as positive as possible? How can we improve in that? How can we all come together to play a role, not just for a new look and for new standards, but new experience?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds like very, very exciting times.
Absolutely.
Can you walk us through a little bit of what was involved in the accreditation process work?
Yeah.
Like, what did it take for you guys? I know, like I said, through the grapevine, I
Yeah.
heard that it was a very, very long journey.
It was.
But what did it take? What were the expectations of JCI for y'all to be able to get that gold seal?
Yeah, so we had to rework, evolve, and expound on a lot of our policies and procedures. And there were some that we had to include and incorporate that we may not have had initially. Some of the other things that we needed to do were focused around our facilities. So facility upgrades that talked about, well, what types of flooring, cabinet ceilings are going to be best to ensure that we are managing infection control. So you'll see that if you've come here to the HSA recently and had to have an inpatient experience, meaning you had to stay with us overnight, you'll see that those rooms have all been revamped. And so we're now looking at how do we put down flooring that not only feels more comfortable and homey, but that is also going to be better for cleanliness, that's going to be better for us to manage infection control, and that's going to be better for the experience that you have. No one wants to come to the hospital and have to stay here. And so if we can make that as comfortable of an experience as possible, then those types of physical structural infrastructure changes are going to contribute to that. Like I said, we mentioned a focus on medication management. We had to rewrite some processes around that. We had to reframe, essentially. It's still the same process somewhat, but we had to reframe it to add some additional measures in there to make it safer, right? And so when we talk about our safer matrices, we had to go through and put all of our processes through a framework that really scrutinized it and said, this might be a great process, but is it the best process it can be? Is it the safest that it can be? And how do you tweak it? In doing that, we then had to retrain our staff, reintroduce policies, and really spend some time internally learning the new way forward. And then just looking at the organization as a whole, all of the processes that we had in place, and we had to go through every single one of them. So if you've ever had a procedure here in recent times, you'll see our OR team, for example, doing what we call a pre-surgical timeout. This is where we are going to stop and we're going to say who we have here, what our plan is for this procedure, what's going to happen, all the steps, and make sure that everyone in the room understands this is John Brown, this is what John Brown is here to have, and John Brown also being included in that experience. What that means is when you go to sleep, you now know that everyone in this room has just confirmed for you that we all know why we're here, we all know who we have, we all know what we're doing. It starts to alleviate anxieties that persons might have around things that they might have seen on TV and shows in other hospitals, experiences that they may have had firsthand or otherwise, to know that we have looked at every single process at a granular level, gone through it with a fine-tooth comb and said, hey, this process has to change, update. These are the things that we need to do to make things safer. And safety, and you hear me repeating it, and it's not because I don't have other things to speak to, but it really, really is the core and the foundation of why we went through this process.
Right, so patient safety being the number one.
The forefront, absolutely.
Absolutely, wow. So that sounds fantastic. And how did you prepare for even beginning the process? Like what was involved in the preparation of all of that?
So to ensure that the process is non-biased, JCI accreditors do not engage with the organization prior. So who is going to come? We don't know who's coming, and they don't know when they're coming either. That is assigned at a later date. But what they do have is a consultation team that you can engage with, and they're almost like two separate organizations. So inviting consultants to come and say, hey, this is our organization, these are our processes now, these are our policies, what are the things that we need to do to be in line with the standards? So engaging with those consultants to help us to start the journey was one of those key things that we had done to ensure that we were really going to meet the targets of these standards. It's great as an organization when you have a view on what you think is the way forward, but it's going to be important that we get that patient feedback. And so you'll notice, and some people may find it frustrating, but you'll notice that every time you come here for HSA for a service now, you might get a phone call, you might get an email saying, hey, how was your experience? And can you answer these questions for us? That was a major part in us moving forward, because we heard what you said. We heard you say, hey, by the way, we need people to come and check on us when we're waiting in a waiting room. What did we do? We hired more patient experience officers. We expanded on that team. We are coming up with a plan. We hear you saying, hey, we're concerned that when we call, we can't get our appointments, or we're not sure who we spoke to the last time. We centralize that service. So that feedback that you give us through that patient feedback process also influenced and spoke to a lot of the decisions that we've made as we changed our processes to be in line with these strategies. So consulting not just the JCI consultants, but consulting our service users, because you guys are the ones who are having the experience, right? And so that was a really important part of our process.
Yes. And so that consultation, especially from the users, will be something that will be ongoing.
That will be ongoing, and especially now that we've achieved the gold seal and we know that our processes, our standards, our policies are safe according to JCI standards, our next focus is making sure that you have a good experience. Because it's great that we've checked all the boxes and all our checks and balances are in place from a clinical standpoint, from an operational standpoint, but how do you feel when you come here? How do you feel when you engage with our staff? How do you feel after you leave? And that is our next focus.
Right. So you did the preparation. They obviously came in and they were pleased with the standards that you put in place and updated processes. I know for a fact that even all of your staff had to now supply, HR with documentation, proof of all their credentials.
Yes.
So it really has elevated, I think, in the minds of the user, what they now think of. Okay, this person can say that they're a registered nurse, but now they have had to prove it to someone.
They have had to prove it, absolutely.
And that accreditation is now on file and has been provided to the HSA.
Yes.
But, what was the official date then that everything, they sort of signed off on everything and gave you that gold seal?
So they came here the first week of May.
Okay.
They spent 7 days with us. And at the end of the 7 days, they were able to give us a preliminary response to say, based on what we've seen and heard here, we're okay. We feel that you guys have met the standards. And I think it's even important to note when we compare how many of the standards that we actually met in comparison to the rest of the world, it was actually quite significant. Yeah. So imagine there are 1,000 standards that are a part of the 7th edition, which is what the most recent set of standards for JCI were. And you will have organizations sometimes even having 100 of those unmet and still meeting the overall expectation.
Right.
Imagine us having even significantly less of those unmet. So we only had about 30 that were partially met, that we then still went back and improved on those so that we could hit that 100%, right? And so even the feedback that we got from them compared to other international organizations who are larger, maybe even more comprehensive than us in terms of their size and their structure, we've still even surpassed some of those in this first attempt at accreditation, which even the accreditors, were quite surprised by and even started to explore how we as HSA and some of our key players could maybe even consult for them when they're looking to accredit hospitals in future. So the standards that we had set here in our first attempt were so significant that they thought, hey, can we have you help other organizations who might go through this in future? And we really were taken aback and sort of just elated that the efforts of all of our team coming together and buying into this process and giving 110% really spoke volumes to what the accreditors saw. So they sent back the official documentation and seal about 2 weeks after they left. And so, since mid-May, we have been officially a JCI accredited hospital here in the Cayman Islands.
So a blueprint for others to follow.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. Now, what about the sister islands? You know, we hear sometimes the sister islands feel like, this is fantastic that this is happening in Grand Cayman, but what about us?
Yeah. So we went in 100%. So we included our sister island hospitals and healthcare centers. So Faith Hospital and Little Cayman Health Center, as well as all of our district clinics here on Grand Cayman, are all accredited.
Wow, that's
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Yes.
Well, congratulations
Thank you.
To the entire Health Services Authority team. It's very, very important, I think, as a country, that the sort of the hospital, government-owned and operated hospital, has achieved this accreditation. And we certainly look forward to hearing more in the future about the real world changes that will come out of this, I think, for patients in particular.
Absolutely. And thanks.
So thank you. Yeah, thank you
Wonderful.
so much for giving us this insight into JCI and what the accreditation process involved, and just answering some of the questions that sort of the average person might have about all of this.
Absolutely.
Because it does sound exciting, but we like to be in the know here on our platform for sure.
If you think quality and you think safety, we're hoping that you think the HSA.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
You.